Well, hello everyone, and good evening, or if you're at work, good morning tomorrow. Uh, hey everyone, welcome to another installment of a traveling band, which is our the role playing game TTRPG. And Misha is once again kind enough to run this game for us. So tell us a little bit about what's going on.
So it's the Root RPG powered by the Apocalypse system. It's themed around an actual board game if you're into that. Uh, Root, a game of woodland might and right. So the board game is an asymmetric war game featuring wildly different factions of anthropomorphic animals vying for power. And so that's the world that everyone is in. They are all anthropomorphic animals. This group, not in particular aligned with any of the factions running around in this woodland. Just a bunch of vagabonds running around, and in this case, I think exploding a lot of things, like a lot. There's been quite a
Things
bit of
and
collateral
people.
damage.
Things and people.
Things and people, yeah. So let's go around. You can introduce your character, maybe some interesting things about them, and maybe do a little recount of what you remembered happened last time you were all on an adventure. We can start with Tough.
Oh, goody. All right, I am 98 Tough Love, or Tough or Torf or Torfleton or some other variety of nickname. I'm also a variety streamer on Twitch. I haven't streamed in a while. One day I will when I have better internet. Until then, I'm usually here. You can also find me sometimes on Backwind's channel, where we are currently doing a masks campaign. And I think that's about it right now. I am playing Vidara Patami, or V, who is an adorable little otter who would never commit any crimes ever. Just look at her. She's so cute. Uh, she is the chronicler. She is obsessed with fishing and lore, because of course she is. And as far as she's concerned, last time, she got some really good cultural and historical knowledge, especially surrounding the Great Underground Duchy. Is that what they are? The mole people.
The Great Underground Duchy, I believe.
That one. Because she got to be a wedding planner for the princess and the general that were getting married. Uh, so, yeah, she did that. We all came up with an elaborate plan in order to steal a book for the Corvid conspiracy, who I think I've worked with in the past. And things went great. I ate some cake, passed out, woke up outside. The entire wedding venue was burning to the ground, and yeah, perfectly fine. I got a cool book. That's all I care about. So it went great for me. How about Fritz?
Hi, I'm Sin, or sinful underscore potato on Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all the social medias. Uh, I stream. The next time I'll be streaming will be Monday with no mic. I I promise you I will be streaming that day. Uh, yep. We'll see how that goes. I'm also in a bunch of TTRPGs that are going on at some point in the next couple of weeks, so that'll be fun. I thought I fixed my camera. It stopped working. That's fine. Uh, so a little catch up with Fritz. Honestly, all Fritz remembers are like boom explosions. There was a nice wonderful moment of a barn going up in flames with like perfectly timed explosions, and just even though nobody else could hear the music, Fritz could hear the music in their head as each explosion went off, and they saw nothing wrong with that until they got hurt somehow, but that's fine. Yeah, it's probably fine. Yeah, Twi.
Hello, I'm Twilight, and I have been playing Hector, who is a heron. Last time we were in a traveling band, I borrowed money from somebody and ran away to never pay it back. And I met somebody, a girlfriend, and Some other stuff happened, a few explosions in the distance, but nothing important. Tack.
All right, I'm Tack. I'm playing a frog. With the playbook of the ranger, basically just think of a little ninja frog. I have a little bit of history with the Corvid conspiracy, but left after some disagreements with the leadership's vision. And now I'm running around with this gang. Marsh saved me once, so I feel like I owe him, and Fritz has burned me in the past, probably literally. So if Marsh is going to insist on traveling with Fritz, I feel like I have to travel with the group to protect Marsh. Not that he knows I'm protecting him, because he thinks I am a small little frog. So, and I'm SJ. I don't stream. Okay.
Oh, yes, I'm Zero, and I am playing Marsh, who is, well, let's face it, brilliant. He's the heart, soul, and brains of this little operation. He is, well, let's just say the most famous performer in the woodlands. And his fame grows by day and day, and everything he touches turns to gold. It's like, let's go find a ruin. We found a ruin. Let's go travel over here and do some mole wedding stuff. We planned the mole wedding. It was extremely successful. So yeah, everything so was there anything else that was explicitly about, and Marsh made lots of good new friends, a lovely trash panda and a bat. He has no idea where they are and can't remember their names, but I'm sure they were fine fellows. And that's about all he remembers about what happened 2 days ago.
Oh, yeah. My cat is sitting on my lap and looking at my computer, and I'm worried that she's going to step on the power button at some point. So be aware. Yeah, so I think that's more or less what happened. There was a wedding. I think some effects that some of you know has happened. The barn, the famous barn of Rooston, well known, definitely destroyed. They'll have to rebuild or replace it. There was discussion. For those who were still welcome in town, which was V and Marsh, I believe there were still discussions. No, Hector was welcome too. It's Tack and Fritz who I think just kind of hung out in the woods for a bit while they waited for you to, leave. You also know that Proxima, one of the people who was in the wedding, was indeed taken by Bruce, kidnapped. I think you know that it was he had a contract from somebody. I don't remember if you know who. That's fine. The Riverfolk are generally pleased, as were the Covert conspiracy. Your Riverfolk girlfriend, whose name is in the NPCs tab.
Felicia.
No.
Oh, no, your Riverfolk, Rhodia.
Rhodia is the beaver.
Felicia was your friend who used to have a potato farm until that one day.
Yeah. And she was here to recover from that horrible explosion as a wedding guest inside of the barn. I think she pulled a knife on someone.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's fine.
I think Tack saved her, gave up the chase of Commander Warham to go save her from the explosion that somebody, I won't name names, decided to cause.
Look, we can point the finger of blame all day long, but can any of us really say we were surprised?
Exactly. Oh, thank you, Wolf. You'll make more game happen, I'm sure. So let's see. Let's pull up the map and we can give a little discussion of where we are and where you're going. So last time you were all in Rooston, which is over there where that crow is and stuff like that. You'd found some ruins nearby. Nothing much has changed about the map itself. This is what you know as far as the different factions that are in control of things. There's the Eerie Dynasties out in the east. The Great Underground Duchy has control of a couple of cities, towns, and there's general presence of the Corvid conspiracy. You all are on the ferry. Rodia decided to slip you all out, a private ferry ride on your way over to Oakenhold, to get out of town and stuff. So, I think that is good for the map. You can switch back. Let's see, where am I at on my list of things? So let's see, did I have anything else to go on? Not exactly. So, as far as the game mechanic stuff goes, this is the 2d6 kind of powered by the Apocalypse system. Lots of similar moves to what you'd see to other systems. I think of note, there are combat and weapon moves. There's like 3 different generic combat moves that are to be used when you're engaging in some sort of combat. If you try to use a more specific weapon move, you have to have that skill and you have to have a weapon that allows you to use that skill. I think everyone is pretty much set up with that, but that's just something of note. And there's a few other types of moves that happen. In this case, there are travel moves, because right now you are traveling technically along a path through the woodland. So I need one of you need to decide how you'll travel, and then one member of your band will have to roll for the group. You can either go at a relaxing pace, an average pace, safely, quickly, and under the radar, or urgently fast. They all change the amount of exhaustion that you either lose or not lose, as well as resources. So I know the general vibe is you are leaving town, but as far as you know, no one is exactly looking for you on the river.
Well, 2 of us have clean paws.
Yeah.
So we're fine.
Yeah.
I think we vote for a nice, relaxing riverboat cruise.
Yeah. Back to hometown.
Yeah. Why would we
Exactly.
hurry? Hurrying would
couple
look
of you-
suspicious.
Yeah.
Look, I can swim. I'm pretty sure one of us is an animal that doesn't typically like water, though, which I'm not upset about.
We had to try to stop Tack from throwing Fritz overboard.
Oh, that's right. Fritz is a cat. Sorry, I keep forgetting.
Yes.
With your tail all crisped up like that, you look like a possum. Ooh, you should be a possum. You could store your boom boom in your little pouch.
I'm happy with a relaxed travel speed.
Yes. And if you're worried, Tack, be nice and ask Hector if he'll fly above and make sure we're not being pirated or whatever.
You're sure it will be fine. All right, who wants to do the roll? So if you're traveling at a relaxing pace, which it sounds like you are, what you'll do is you'll clear 3 exhaustion. Everybody can clear 3 exhaustion. You collectively mark a total of 2 depletion. So you can decide who is marking depletion. Depletion is a stat that helps you keep track of like odds and ends. It's food in your pack. It's random ammunition that you have. It's basically any mundane object, and you're like, oh, I'll just mark a depletion, and I happen to have that packed. That's what depletion represents.
Well, I'll mark off that extra value I have for the river folk so that I can take one of them.
Okay. So 1 more depletion.
Myself and Fritz already have 2, so preferably.
I can take one.
Okay.
Cool.
And then you'll have a -1 to the roll that you make. Because something might happen because you're a relaxing riverboat cruise.
Sea
I'm
monster.
sure Bria actually doesn't mind this. This is pretty comfortable for her. She's like, oh, I know a good fishing spot over here. You got a line, don't you, Bee?
Fishing!
You know.
I don't think any of us had any exhaustion.
Oh, yes.
Not really.
Not
just
really.
horrible injury. I'm going to look up how we get rid of that in a minute because that will probably be something Fritz is interested in.
Okay.
Yes, as I mentioned, there are several more tracks that are tracking a variety of resources in this game. There's injury, which is like your physical harm, exhaustion, which is your stamina kind of situation, wear, which represents wear upon your gear, and then morale, which is sort of a I think that's for NPCs. I don't know if you guys have it.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
No.
NPCs have morale, which kind of measures when they will stop fighting. The other three, I think, are shared. Though for the wear in particular is on actual gear items for the PCs.
Cool.
All right,
Who's gonna roll?
Hector, give us a roll.
Oh, Hector, yeah. Roll
You're on a
low.
-1.
That would be a 5.
Oh boy.
Cool.
Not bad.
All right, I'll note that for later, because this won't happen for a little bit. So let's look at. Well, first of all, while I look up the injury stuff, is there anything? No. Here's what I want to do. V, how did you leave? 1 second. How did you leave Flanera, who is, if you recall, the
Oh yeah.
wolf blacksmith you were all kind of
The
making
one that
lovey-dovey eyes
I'm
at?
trying to woo. Oh god, how did I leave her?
We can do a quick flashback because she obviously wasn't going to travel, but maybe you walk in and she's just wrapping up work on the forge, probably dipping a tool or sword or something into the water to make lots of steam and stuff like that. Hissing is like, oh, hi there, V. How are you doing?
I mean, I'm good. How are you, Flan?
Good, good. Just just making some stuff. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Somehow is casually leaning over trying to casually lean over an anvil doesn't really work.
Also simultaneously trying to like casually lean on like a table or a counter and it's also not working. So we're both just horribly awkward and it's beautiful.
Yes.
Well, we're after everything that happened, we're gonna leave town for a little bit. I wanted to go visit home and I got this cool new book and I brought you something from it and I wanted to give it to you before I left.
Oh, you're leaving town. That's it's so thoughtful of you.
Yeah.
As you were about to give this her brother wanders in and says, "Hey, so I was cleaning out the guest room. Where did you want these?" And he's holding a box. She's like, "No, get out of here! Shoot, shoot, shoot!" And he looks and then kind of shrugs and turns around. She's like, "Yeah, so, what were you saying?"
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you expecting guests? Should I?
Oh,
Shall
no,
we?
no, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here, I'll just give you this really, really quick. And like, God, I don't. Hang on. I feel like I have a move for this or something. Um, could I use the worth of a book and use that to find something that would interest her? Like an old great underground duchy blacksmithing technique or a cool emblem or something?
Yeah, you could probably find something like that.
Cool.
I think an easy way to represent this gift is a market depletion. Just be like, here you go. I found this
Yeah,
thing
that
for you and I
works.
copied it out and
Yeah, that's good. Here, that's for you. I should should get going. I gotta catch up with my friends. I hope your guests are comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll be comfortable.
Okay, great. Well, I'll stop by the next time I'm in Rooston and come say hi if that's okay.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. If you want, you could do a move. I believe there is a move for figure someone out if you wanted to pick up on these delightfully awkward symbols. Or you could just remain with the assumption of what's going on here.
Let's try it. Why not? Whoops. Oh god, it's supposed to glow in the dark and I don't know. It does glow in the dark. I found it. That's a 10.
Ooh.
Ooh. So you can hold 3, which is you can spend
God.
hold to ask one of those questions that's listed.
Okay. What does she wish I would do?
Stay here with her.
Yes. Oh no. Sorry guys. I know we just started. I can't play the game anymore. I'm stuck in Roosted. What is your character really feeling?
I think she's sad that you're leaving, but it's sort of like one of those, well, she's a vagabond. What was I to expect, really? And ooh, just hit some things, don't hit things. She is also I think happy to hear that you were going to come back. I think that's like oh, she's going for a bit, she'll be back. Okay, I can work with this.
Cool. And then how do I get your character to admit what she's really feeling?
I don't know. I think it would have to be either everyone would have to be less awkward immediately.
Good luck.
Yeah.
if there was a sincere, like, yeah, I don't know, a little more hand holding and being like, listen, you can tell me that kind of thing. But I think everyone would have to bring their awkward levels down a lot.
Have you tried a mating dance? That's always works for herons.
It's true.
Hector just pops in the door. Moment is ruined completely.
Like that scene from How to Train Your Dragon where Toothless does the little dance and he looks at Hiccup and like,
I'm gonna go to Hector with my relationship problems. That would go well. No, I will I probably just like written it down or rubbed it out on a piece of paper or whatever.
Maybe slip into her gift.
Yes.
Like the stuff that you handed over.
Yeah. And like as she's like taking it, I'll just kind of like put my little paws on hers and be like, it was just so nice getting to know you, Flan, and I really hope to get to know you better when I get back.
Oh, thanks. All right. And
then
you left her there looking at the gift, looking at you leaving the forge, and you were thinking about this while on the boat. Probably fishing, not going to lie.
So much fishing.
Does anyone else want to do anything while they're on the boat? It's been a few days since you left. It'll probably be a few more days until you get there. A fast ferry probably takes 3 days, but you were all taking your time, seeing the sites, going to different fishing sites. To be honest, you probably get V probably gets a fish. Not gonna lie, you have a fishing pole.
Yay, a fish.
So you probably got a fish, so you can just unmark a depletion.
Yeah.
Yay.
You could also just jump in and catch one because you're an otter.
Oh, but that ruins the entire history
Oh
behind
God, here
the
we go
fishing
again.
pole.
You're ruining our vacation. No, anyway, no, actually, as soon as the flashback of V and whatever that nonsense was, it cuts to mid-sentence of Marsh saying, "So, as I said, as long as none of us was foolish enough to leave any evidence behind, like we didn't rip out any pages of the book or make any reference to the book or tell anyone that we had the book, we should be scot-free."
Yeah.
Hack has
No,
just been
there's-
staring daggers at Fritz for the past 3 days.
Stop doing that.
Fritz has been
Your face
looking
will
at
stick
the
like that.
sword.
And then I'll splash some water on you. We're looking dry.
It feels nice, but should do it to Fritz.
I don't think
Looking a
that's
little
I'll and then just, like the tip of an ear that was smoldering. There we go. No,
All right,
I'm just
any-
singing to everyone to lull them into relaxation. Which, by the way, if
yeah,
anyone
yeah,
has any
what's it?
remaining exhaustion, you would be able to remove it because I'm a raconteur, and when I sing to you, you relax.
Everyone is so not exhausted.
I know, we're just
great.
like little
This is just the
puddles of
best.
jello.
Yes, this is exactly what we needed after such a lovely wedding where nothing went wrong and it went perfectly. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I got a really nice nap in. It was very refreshing. Minus the slight smoke inhalation.
Just a little bit. So I will note that as Batgoin did, if you want to do the thing where you redeem a character, there's a lot of NPCs, probably especially coming up in the new town. I can rename the ones that I gave names to. So, but I am going to use Batgoin's name right now.
Ooh.
In the during the day sometime. In the distance, I assume one of you might be just looking out. Basically, from the direction of Rooston, you see another ship, a faster ship than the Riverfolk barge that you are all on. And on it is one of the most exotic people you've ever seen, some sort of penguin.
Ooh,
They
so formal.
are standing at the front of the ship, and they do have a bow out, like, a crossbow aimed at your ship. What do you do?
Well, of course. This is some fine fellow in fancy dress practicing his archery in the middle of the water. That's normal, I suppose.
I don't know. People only bring out crossbows when they're very angry.
Or if they're
Maybe he's
practicing.
very angry fish.
Or they're going to shoot the crossbow into our ship and try to board.
How can you board with a crossbow? That's
Moments,
silly.
just as you
It pulls the
said
ship
this,
and keeps them together so
just as you
that
say this, a large crossbow embeds itself into the barge with a rope attached.
like that.
I think
I'm going to take my shuriken and try to cut it.
Okay.
Oh, sir, you seem to have accidentally attached your rope to our ship. Do you need us to give you a haul?
From behind him pop out a small band of mostly moles or other burrowing creatures, and the captain turns to them and says, "It's them! Get them! The bounty is high!" And they start hauling the rope closer. You are trying to cut the rope. Let's see. Roll wreck something. I'll let you use not might but finesse on that.
Perfect. All right, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yes. So you manage to sever the rope, but you have immediately drawn the attention of basically the whole crew, having noticed you cut the rope. The captain dives into the water as the rest of the crew start rowing or, I'd say rowing faster, propelling their boat even closer. What do you all do?
Fritz, see that boat coming up on us? It would be good if it wasn't.
Have you ever tried to make firework on water? You should throw it on that boat and see if it works.
Yeah, it's an experiment. Give it a try.
Their boat.
Grenades that are far.
Now time your shot. Wait until they get close, but not too close. Because we don't want, shrapnel like that one time. I'm still picking potato out of my fur.
And Fritz attempt to yeet a grenade at the boat.
Yes.
I'm going to say Tap has their head in the water looking for the penguin that dove in the water to see where they're trying to come up at so that they're not trying to stop Fritz from doing crazy stuff.
No, they're definitely going for you, Tack. We'll get to that in a minute. They will, you have the move Arsonist.
Yeah.
So go ahead. You are trying to wreck the boat, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mark a depletion when you are throwing your grenade. Or I guess you can either mark a depletion or you mark your boom booms as aware on the boom booms.
And then use value to restore them.
Yeah. Up to you. But either way, you can roll the wreck something with luck instead of might.
Yeah.
And let me know what you get on that roll, Sin. Let's see here.
9?
9.
Yeah,
okay.
it's a 9.
Would you like to spend... Oh, we don't have any minor boons. Oh, well.
Well, maybe now you do.
Oh, yes, we
Just
do.
now.
Well, thank you, Wolf. Would you like to spend that Wolf's minor boon to make that a 10? For like
Sure.
a big bada boom?
Sure.
Excellent.
So it's one of those scenes, where you still probably a bit sore. I think you're still quite injured, but listen, the opportunity to explode something when told is extremely exciting. So you quickly prep your grenade and you launch it in the perfect arc, lands on the ship. At least the four or five people who are on the ship, like 2 of them just turn and stare at it, and the other 3 are like, "Oh no!" and are like leaping off the edge when boom, and the ship is starting to sink because it has a hole in it and missing a lot of it, which is probably unfortunate for some of them.
Well, especially considering that moles can't swim.
I'm sure they can figure it out.
Yeah.
Sure.
Give them
Figure it
about
out. They know what
15 minutes,
water
they probably
is.
could.
Um,
I mean, they have very poor vision.
They swim, but they swim in the wrong direction.
yeah. Tech, you were looking underwater for the captain who has a name, and he linked it, and I'll
Sir Icing.
Sir Icington the
Sir
14th.
Isington the 14th.
Yeah.
Though you don't know that yet, but that's fine. Sir Isington, you look one way, you don't see anything. You look the other way, and then finally look down. Look, there he is, and he surges up from the water, knocking you back. Mark 1 exhaustion as he boards the ship. He is the first one there. I think he's mostly engaged with you, Tack. So how would you like to respond?
I want to I was gonna say tackle him into the water, but I don't want to fight multiple in the water. That would be probably bad. I want to try to throw him back off the boat, I guess.
Okay, I think that is grappling an enemy. So go ahead and roll might.
Okay, 8, 9, 9.
All right. You'll both make a choice simultaneously when you are grappling. So you can inflict injury, inflict exhaustion, mark exhaustion to inflict 2 injury, or disengage to close range. For you, disengage for close range will shove him off the boat.
But that doesn't inflict any kind of injury or exhaustion.
No. You'll have to keep. I think you're locked in a grapple until you disengage, pretty much.
Gotcha. I want to do 1 injury.
Okay. They will also inflict 1 injury. Keep grappling.
And now I want to throw him off the boat.
Well, now you got to roll again.
Okay. 10.
Oh, that works.
All right.
11.
So you get an extra first choice.
An extra first choice.
Yes.
So basically, I could do 2. I could do injury, then throw him off.
Yes.
Yes, I want to do that.
All right. He, as you throw him off, he will also inflict injury. But he lands in the water with a splash, though you hear him swat. "You fool! The water is my specialty!" As he falls into the water.
You think the water is your ally?
Right.
I should probably make stats for him while I'm thinking about this. This is an exciting development for me personally. Meanwhile, the other folks have made their way onto the boat. Probably enough so that there's one to engage the rest of you. So I'll tackle as grappling with Sir Isington. The rest of you are encountering a decidedly smaller contingency of what appear to be either duchy soldiers or at least someone hired by the duchy. They advance. What do you do?
Well, this is so rude. If you wanted to join our cruise, you could have just asked. I'm assuming they're all pirates at this point, because we've done nothing wrong. Mostly because Marsh has forgotten anything that they would have done wrong. So I think he will pull out his little wooden sword and flourish it and start giving some sort of soliloquy from some musty old play, and then set about on the nearest mole.
All right. Go ahead and engage in melee, unless you are doing something
Nope.
more specific.
I am engaging in melee, but with finesse because of the weapon quality.
All right.
Ooh, 11 on the die.
Ooh.
Plus 2. So that'll be a 13.
All right. Well, on a 10 plus, you get to choose 3. It's the standard kind of set. You can inflict +1 harm, suffer -1 harm. By default, you will exchange harm. You can shift your range
Yes.
from close to far, far to close, or into grappling range.
Yes.
Or impress, dismay, or frighten your foe.
Yes. I think I would like to inflict a harm. suffer one less harm and dismay my foe. / confuse them, because I'm continuing my overly melodramatic soliloquy as I'm beating him with a stick. He's probably quite surprised that it hurts as bad as it does.
Yes, they are. I have marked their morale. I also added a morale for the time their boat got exploded. I don't think anyone liked that. So, but the fight continues. V, Hector?
I would like to flutter up to the crow's nest, heron's nest, if you will, and then harry the group using my bow.
All right. Sounds good. Marf, you will still take one injury because there's a few of them and they do by default 2. I know you can block incoming injury using
By marking where?
armors and stuff.
Yeah,
if you
I
want,
just did. I just did that.
Okay.
You have put a rent in my doubloon, sir. Doublet. Doubloon? Wait, which one is the coin? Anyway,
Doubloons, I
have at
think.
you. Whack, whack, whack.
It's doubloons, not that's a double. I don't.
Or is it more of a jerkin? I can never tell the difference. So we're talking fashion, medieval men's fashion, as I beat him on the head.
Exactly. Delightful conversation. So go ahead and roll to harry the foe. That's a particular weapon skill, right?
It is, yes.
Okay.
That would be a 10 total.
Ooh.
All right. Let me take a look at that because I don't remember. I don't think this was the page I needed to turn to at all. Senses. Area group. On a 10 plus, so when you do this, you have to mark where on the weapon, just so you know. But you do both of this. You inflict 2 morale harm, and they are pinned or blocked. So describe what you've done to make those true.
Well, as the moles are moving single file down the sides of the boat towards Marsh, and the first one has engaged into hand-to-hand combat, I am showering arrows at the remaining ones so that they cannot move or do anything. They have to duck and cover beneath the guardrails. As you can see.
Excellent. This seems to have greatly demoralized the main group of these guys. But and they start backing away, perhaps towards the remains of their ship. They're really eyeballing the whole. We could swim back to the remains of our ship, or we could surrender. What are we going to do here? And it's at that moment. Let's see. I got to give Sir Isington some cool stats here.
What are you doing, V? Are you just standing there?
I'm not really a combat person. I'm just
You are when
cute
there's
and
combat.
innocent and probably I don't know.
So I'm just going to use a major bane. Sir Isington, as V is saying, "Oh, I don't really do combat," kind of backing away.
I don't really want to hurt
combat.
anybody.
I don't really, but unfortunately, V is extremely close to the edge of the boat, and it's probably one of those like it's fine. Then you see a flipper come up from the side and then pull you into the water. Now, you might not have been the best target because you are an otter, but
Yeah.
the penguin has dragged you into the lake.
I will dive in after V.
All right.
I'll say, you should no, take the cat.
V, what do you do?
Can I try to trick him?
Yeah, what were you trying to do with this?
Basically just be like, oh, you saved me. These crazy people came and took me away. I was ready planning for the Great Underground Duchy, and then I was on a boat, and I don't know what happened.
Yes, go ahead and do a trick an NPC.
That is an... What do I have? +2? 8.
Let's see. On an 8, so it is a hit, so they'll take the bait and do what you want. So what do you want them to do from this?
Just like, oh, you can let me go. I'll just get myself to safety. Thank you so much. It was so kind of you to rescue me from that boat and those crazy people. One of them sets fires to everything.
So they will do one of the following. Let me see. I don't know if I pick this or you pick this. Let me check on that. But they will either hesitate, stumble, or overreact.
Yeah, I think it sounds like you're describing like hesitate and their confidence that you're one of the people is shaken.
I'm one of the people that they need to grab.
Yeah.
Or it could be they stumble and you gain an opportunity to swim away, but I think hesitate and their confidence is shaken is more appropriate.
Okay, they're uncertain about what they do. They make a mistake. Okay. Yeah, no, this is they overreact to this and say, No, fair lady, I will take you to safety. After all, I am a man of honor. And he will forcibly take you all the way to their sinking vessel, where I think at this point, at least a couple of the ones who weren't immediately killed in the explosion are trying to patch it up. And I'm sure a couple of the ones that were on the ship that were being harried tried to jump off. I'm sure one of them's like stuck on the boat with, like, an arrow through their boot or something. They can't get up. But at any rate, he is taking you to their sinking ship and is issuing commands, like, we must get to safety at once. This one is in danger. Well, I'll go back and take care of these villains. Tack, what have you? So did you follow him, or you just are like, well?
Can I blindside him?
Yeah.
Okay. Attempt a roguish feat. Is that a 6
as long
or
as
a
you
9?
have the
Oh
blind.
no, obviously it's a 6. I'm stupid. Okay, 6, 7. I do have that roguish feat. 6, 7.
Okay.
Is roguish feat with finesse? On finesse, so 6, 7.
I think so.
8, 9. Okay, so 9.
9. So when you do a roguish feat,
It's backstab, murder, sneak attack, sucker punch.
Yeah. That's many horrible things to happen to him. However, with a 9, there is either a risk that something goes wrong. In this case, it'd be draw unwanted attention, leave evidence, or
you mark
plunge into
exhaustion.
danger, or you mark exhaustion to avoid those things. One of those things.
I'll mark exhaustion.
Okay. So then you just do what you set out to do with that.
So do we see like a little wake, a little bow wake, and 2 little froggy eyes going through the water really quick, and hear dunna, 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 and then just a little froggy leap up in the air with the sighs as you come down into his back. I am a brave and honorable.
I'll go back and deal with the rest.
Yes, beautiful. You're gonna need a bigger
All right,
boat.
Did you aim lethally or non-lethally?
I'm gonna say lethally.
Okay.
Sorry, Betty.
Rip backward.
Oh, it is Backward's character. Maybe non-lethally. I heard enough that they're out of the fight. That's
Yeah.
essentially what.
I presume it's a fairly severe wound that you gave him without immediate medical attention. It would probably be a problem. Upon seeing this, the remaining crew yells like, "Fall back! Surrender! This isn't worth the money!" Oh my God! They just got stabbed! And everyone starts leaving. If any are remaining, I assume one or two are unable to really disengage from the ship and just surrender there.
Oh, and any
Not
of
that
the
they're-
ones that are swimming away are for sure getting peppered with arrows.
Okay.
We don't leave witnesses. It's much better that they went out in search of random vagabonds and were never heard of again. Except for maybe one slightly scorched floating barrel that rolls into port 5 days later.
Well, I'm sure Sir what's his name? I've
Isington.
forgotten again. Sir Isington will wash upon shore somewhere, bleeding profusely, and then someone will nurse him back to health. It's the start of a beautiful love story.
Yes.
I kidnapped thee back.
Right.
You can't leave.
I told you not to run.
Oh no, I've tripped overboard.
Right.
For the ones who surrender, are you guys going to kill them?
I mean, they're dirty mole people, aren't they? They were coming up here to kill us for no reason. We planned their most important event of the season and performed flawlessly at it, and their payment to us is to try to kill us. I think they're pirates.
Well,
I, of
Ooh.
course,
just ask them.
Maybe they were hired by a rival wedding planning service trying to cut us out of the market.
No, I'm just barely starting to enter the field. They can't do this to me.
Corporate sabotage.
No.
No, we weren't hired. It's not because of the wedding planning. It's because of them. And
So
one
who?
of them points at Fritz.
Well, what about them?
Us.
This one's so small, they can't do anyone any harm.
Hides the bloody sigh.
Yes.
Tucks it back away.
Hashtag like brutally murder their captain.
I mean, that's right, isn't it? All you found was a little froggy person who couldn't possibly do anyone any harm. And a cat that clearly has, I don't know, mange or something. I mean, look at that fur. Couldn't possibly be the people that you were looking for, right?
Persuade an NPC with charm?
Sure.
Fritz, are you still wearing your mask?
Fritz never takes it off.
11.
And I think that did you have to make a new one? Did it burn or something?
No, you
No, it didn't
took it off because
burn.
it was recognizable and was wearing scarves instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when Fritz went on the lam first time.
Yes, they will see things my way provided they have a strong motive. Their strong motive is to not
Oh,
be
yeah.
hunted down and murdered in their sleeps.
You definitely gave them a strong motive. You're like, well, we didn't see anything. We'll definitely tell the commander that we didn't find anybody.
Yes, it was all an issue of mistaken identity on a completely separate topic. Have you ever wondered what would happen if you dropped one of those grenades into a mole hole?
We should. Are we free to? Can we just go?
You
Can we
probably
leave?
should.
Oh, sounds great. And they will find a nearby plank and start
They'll
paddling.
paddle detritus away.
Swim safely. Don't drown.
Tell your friends.
Don't tell your friends.
Yes.
And then
You might have.
Tack just shurikens them in the back as they're swimming away. not really.
And then they die. We weren't really going to let them go.
We're terrible.
Are you all okay? Is this the war crime section again? Is that where we're at?
I mean, we kind of
No,
already
That
have.
just
We're-
thinks the thought and is, but doesn't actually do it. You get like the little, how they do in movies where they show what they're imagining and then it goes back and it's like, oh, no.
We are extremely friendly and nice and helpful to the common
Yeah.
folk until people try to attack us and kill us. And then,
Oh, yeah. As you do. Ted, can you
Fool
give
around
me
and
a
find out.
figure someone out real quick from that conversation?
Who?
You.
Oh. 6, 7, 8. What is figure someone out?
Charm.
Oh, I don't think I have any charm. If I do, it's negative. Oh, yeah, 7, 8, so 7.
Cool.
Get a question.
In theory, you ask a question if you'd like.
Is it a list of questions or? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. What does your character intend to do?
They intend to do exactly what Marsh told them to do. And you've put together that the commander they're referring to is probably Commander Warham.
Yeah.
Thus thwarting his plans of trying to murder you guys.
We
I
should have
guess-
stopped and asked them before they left why they have a penguin for a commander when they're moles.
I know.
What was a penguin doing underground and so far from the cold? It's just bizarre. I really need to look into this.
They might have hired a mercenary just because they're more experienced with water and it's a naval operation. So I guess in that way it makes sense.
I will have to see if there's anything in the book about naval relations with the penguins and the moles. This is very interesting.
Me adding to book Penguin Mole Alliance.
Yes.
I mean, I do have
Oh,
Lore
man.
Master.
Yes, if you would like to research more about the Penguin Mole Alliance, there's one penguin in the woodland. It's that one.
It's that one. Interesting.
Let's see. Radia's like, as you sail away from the thing, she's looking at her ship like, oh man, I'm gonna have to repair this.
Well, Hector's quite handy with the
salvaging-
toolbox.
Yeah, look at the hole at this. Gosh.
If
you
you
guys sure find a lot of trouble.
if you have any spare planks and things, I'm sure Hector could repair it for you.
I mean, we could probably go fetch some from the smoking crater that we just left.
Oh, Hector, go
Yeah.
fly over and grab some floating planks that we can use to patch up Rhodia's boat.
I will leave the very adorable Rhodia to this scallywags.
In case no one remembers, Rhodia is a beaver.
Rhodia is adorable. She is my lover. She is
The
the world to me.
Oh.
Her teeth are beautiful.
As opposed to your lack of.
Yeah.
The fact that Hector is always drunk is maybe part of this equation.
Radia is also almost always drunk as
Yeah,
well,
right.
I'd say. Or at least, buzzed, a nice low-key kind of buzz situation.
As I zigzag my way towards the other ship, which is a legitimate naval strategy to avoid torpedoes, and it's not because I'm drunk. As I do that, I shall not be concerned at all about Marsh trying to romance Rhodia, because I know that he is my friend and he wouldn't do such a mean thing. And I'm going to search for supplies upon the sinking ship.
Pack hits on Rodia.
Hey, now that sap's gone, you and me. How about it?
Oh, you're so cute and small.
I know, so we.
Actually, I have
Full of murder.
a move that allows me to dismantle things with my toolbox.
Oh, cool. Go ahead. And is that an automatic thing or a rolling situation?
It says clear to depletion, but I
If you have
suppose
mark depletion, you can clear it. But I think in this case, no one will have to mark depletion in order to take care of any repairs for the ship.
Cool.
Yeah.
so you can just go fetch some ship bits and take it off. It's a fun IKEA-esque project for you and Radia to take on together, because there's a lot of, like, oh no, well, that's a little, no, well, you see, that's important here, and a lot of discussion about, the proper way to cut wood, because really, if you just bite into it, it should work out just fine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why you need that tool. I mean, I guess that beak's not going to do anything except drill more holes into the ship.
I am definitely trying to bite into things on Radio's recommendation.
There's several
pecking.
empty bottles surrounding Dia and Hector while they're building this. We turned the chair upside down. How did we do that?
All right. Anything else as you sail the rest of the way to Oakenhold?
And Fritz sit in a corner with the lighter.
No.
I will take some water and spit it out at the lighter to make it not work anymore.
Just keep Fritz at my side while I'm fishing and just have a thing of water next to me and just splash her with it anytime she pulls out a fire.
Yes, Fritz might actually be spending a wet and miserable trip, really, especially since you will need either a month of bed rest or a week with an experienced healer in order to treat your injuries.
Boy.
Yeah. It's quite painful. Is anyone else injured?
I am.
Yeah, attackers.
All right.
Now.
I'll look at some of the other injury stuff, because there's probably a bit of time left while you're on the ship. Clearing harm. Exhaustion gets cleared by clearing 1 is just a night's rest. If you guys only are at like 1 or 2 exhaustion, it should be gone by the time you arrive in Oakenhold.
Yes.
Because
I'll be telling stories, so you can add one to that.
Nothing in particular is going to be happening in between. I'm just letting you know. If you have a damaged item, you can clear 1 wear by spending a few hours repairing the item by marking depletion.
Yep.
Or a trained expert spends an hour repairing the item, requires 1 value of supplies. 2 wear is it's a couple days, which you still have time to do, which would remark 2 depletion, and so on. So for injury, if it's just 1, a vagabond tends your wounds. You can mark depletion for the supplies. Healer spends an hour tending to your wounds, 1 value of supplies, a week of bed rest. You can clear a 2 injury with spending a day or less tending to your wounds.
Oh, that's not so bad.
Yeah.
Then I will tend to tack, because I am tax protector.
Well, are you a skilled healer?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Isn't it a vagabond can patch him up?
Yeah.
Vagabonds can only handle 1 injury.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can keep 1. That's fine.
Yeah.
Well, I think you can do it. You can do it sequentially, right? Like the next day.
I don't know. It is unclear, because it's like, I would think that you probably would still need to visit a healer at some point, because it's like something is serious enough that either you're lying, like, and otherwise it'd be 1 day you clear 1 wound for an hour, 1 day you clear another wound for an hour, versus clearing 3 injury is like a week with a healer, right? So it doesn't make sense that you'd be able to just clear those. Like, they have to be cleared all at once.
Well, someone should
for injuries.
Someone should at least make sure that Fritz doesn't bleed out.
Yeah. I think you have made sure that Fritz will not bleed out. It's just sort of like, well, we'll take care. Like, we're maintaining Fritz here.
Okay.
But Fritz isn't exactly getting better. Let's see. All right, so you approach Oakenhold.
Ooh.
And
Have I been
some
here
of you
before?
are from here, right? So V's from here. I know that.
I think me and Marsh are from Oakenhold.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I wrote it down somewhere once.
I think so.
No, that's Marsh. It doesn't remember.
Yeah. Yes, Marsh. We both were in Oakenhold. Remember, there's the The ocean's right there. Insert other facts about the town that V knows that I don't.
Mostly
Well, of
you
course,
yammering on
you
about the
know
great
about
stories that
Oakenhold.
your mentor used to tell. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's why I don't remember, because this place is boring.
Yes, Oakenhold is known. It's another large trading partner. It has done pretty well for itself throughout the war times. It was for some time a base for the Marquisate, but they vacated at some point, and from that point on, the Denizens has held it. It has avoided much of the more recent conflicts with the current factions that are out and about, which are the Great Underground Duchy and the Corvid conspiracy, though if you note the map that there is some presence of the Corvid conspiracy there. It's very far from the Ares. I don't think they've ever reached Oakenhold. So as you view from across the lake, Oakenhold is easy to spot. Towering oak trees stretch toward the sky. The view of their trunks, though, is blocked by an impressive thick gray stone and brick wall. There's a myriad of boat stock there, and you see it, and Rudy is like, here we are, almost there. Just a few more hours, because you can see the wall is very visible. It's the most notable feature of Oakenhold besides the oak trees. But as you all get closer, you can tell something is amiss. The famous wall, the unbreakable wall, is, well, broken. Multiple cracks are along its face. One section that at a distance looked like it was one of the great gates, wooden doors that will allow you passage into Oakenhold. It's actually a large crumbling hole, collapsed section of the wall. Denizens, who are mostly rabbits in this town, are surveying the damage and moving rubble away from the area. Even if you're not familiar with the area, you can see that the lake's water is far too high. It's lapping almost to the base of the wall, and docks and boats are askew from their moorings. And the smoke from the ever-burning kilns that are in the city are nowhere to be seen. Something has happened here. Even Rodius are like, low whistle as you're starting to approach. Like, this is not how she last left it. She does the ferry ride fairly often.
She's musical.
You're drunk, Hector. I would be very suspicious of you, Fritz, but you were with us, right, the entire time, so you couldn't possibly have blown up this wall. All right. I trust
We
you.
weren't here before and left explosives.
Did we do that? And we had some conversation about loading up something with a bunch of barrels of explosives and blowing things to Kingdom Come. I just can't remember what.
It was probably
Marcus'
nothing.
character trait of doesn't remember anything. This is great. Everyone should have that character trait, because then every session is very easy to be like, I don't know where we are. It's very exciting.
This is all brand new.
I mean, I remember that we were going to build a stage out of barrels of TNT for Commander Warham to stand on, but Marsha just I don't know. I say words sometimes. I don't really listen to them.
So Fritz, this is the first time you all have been here as a group. I'm not too sure if Hector, Fritz, or Tack Tack might have been here in the past, but Hector and Fritz probably never were here before. It's pretty far west for where you come from. The town is bustling. Let's see. I have several people whom we might know, but I'm going to go with V. You see a familiar face. It's Captain Tondrick. She is a rabbit. Usually pretty friendly. You can see that she is directing some of the people around, clearing up some of the debris and stuff.
I probably just wait where I'm like, Captain, what happened?
Oh, and Captain Chandra will turn and be like, do the 1 second and finish giving some more orders, and then bounce over and gives you a quick hug and says, "Hello, V. It's so good to see you." I'm sorry, it's been a mess. There was I don't know, some sort of a sudden flood just overtook the city and the walls.
Tell me in detail.
Oh, yep, I can do that. And she gives a precise report of what happened. Sometime, I think, two days ago, probably. At this point, maybe early in the morning. At some point, there was a suddenly large wave. It wasn't as tall as the walls, but it was enough to sweep the docks away. The lake water is still too close. Obviously, it damaged the walls and quite a few of the buildings and stuff inside the lower parts of the city that are near the docks, or other low-lying areas of note. The whole wall's bad right now. She says. Oh, and she said there was some sort of like earth tremor before the flood began.
Mm-hmm.
Like possibly caused by something underground, huh?
Like something digging underground.
Mm. Let's see. She continues, I've been organizing the town guard and obviously the citizenry to help out with all of our recovery efforts, but there's a lot to do.
Yes. Well, I mean, we just got into town. We decided to drop by, but I'm sure that we could be of some help in rebuilding.
I'm so glad that you offered, V. That's really nice of you.
Yes,
I could really use some help. Here I have there's the kilns need to be seen to and restarted. V, you know that Oakenhold's industry is partly held together by the large kiln system.
Well, yes,
That
naturally, it dates back centuries. I mean, we
It
can't
does
just waste our
indeed.
kiln system. Oh.
Yeah, their kiln system and produces a large amount of trade goods and other things that would need to be fired in kilns. I don't know. Bricks,
What about like a
pottery.
clinic or hospital?
Oh yes, the clinics and hospitals. There's the healer. She's busy, obviously, with everything going on, but I'm sure she could see to any of you that are hurt.
We were
She
set upon by
says-
pirates on our way here.
Oh,
Mole
that
pirates.
Mole pirates. Interesting.
A penguin. It was very odd.
A penguin?
Yes.
Well, I've only heard of one penguin
Is he a pirate?
ever. Mercenary, which is kind of close. Sir
I mean,
Islington's
take
usually
a
pretty
mercenary,
good
stick him on the
about-
water, he's a pirate, right?
No,
I mean,
but
more or less.
I'll go with it. That's fine. A pirate, a
Yes.
a penguin pirate.
All right, penguin
Oh.
pirate. Well, the famous
Penguin
penguin pirate punctured Fritz,
Mm.
who needs treatment. And poor Tack was almost squished.
Mm. Well, I know you vagabonds are a fairly hardy lot. Anyway, the kiln needs restarting. Obviously, there's plenty of debris and what have you that needs to be cleared, or creating any flood barriers for any additional floods that might happen. I'm not too sure how the tides have been actually. Trees have fallen. Some of them need to be removed, etc. We need a track of make sure all families are accounted for. It's been a bit hectic. Obviously, some people have lost their lives in this tragedy, but we want to make sure everyone's accounted for and not just missing and gone somewhere. And of course, we need to repair the walls once we have all the debris covered. So if any of these things sound like something you'd be able to help with.
Yes, I'm sure that we could. I mean, we'd probably be best suited for tracking people down. Make sure that they're not getting hurt in the wilderness. As brave and hardy vagabonds, we are well equipped to deal with the dangers of the forest.
That you are. Well, and she like call someone over who has like a list, and she's like, well, you're familiar with the area, so here's a few people to check on that we haven't heard from in this section here. You let us know if anyone is missing, and then if they are, you can go find them. Then once you're done with that, I'm sure there's even more for you to help out with. I'd really appreciate it, V. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah.
It's so good to be home.
Yeah.
And
Are we entering a clearing?
we are entering a clearing. Things can happen when you enter clearings.
Yes, I can. 10.
All right.
Which is...
This is for your...
Yes. A fan recognizes me. They relate gossip, offer a place to stay, and show our band around. On a 10+, the fan will go even further to help you. Like, maybe... get us in good with the healer.
That would probably be good. As you enter the town, a young raccoon sees you and then does like the double take and then rushes over to you, Marsh, and then says,
I don't carry
my
cash.
Gosh. It's Marsh, right? It's Marsh, famous
of course
bard.
it is.
Yes. Oh, my name's Bea. Bea? I randomly generated the name. It's Vhea.
Okay.
Who knows?
Well, if you don't know, I don't know. It's your
Yes,
name.
exactly. No one knows. I'm Bea. I'm a huge fan of your work. What brings you to Oakenhold?
Well,
Back to Oakenhold, that is. I was here for your first concert.
oh, really?
Yeah.
I imagine it was spectacular. I don't really remember. But, well, we were, saving the denizens of the woodlands and planning affairs of state. And then we decided to go on a lovely cruise. And then we were beset by penguin pirates. And now we're here. And apparently we're going to save this place too. You know, just kind of day in the life sort of stuff.
Oh, yeah. The floods really made a mess of things. Like, I'm in charge of like a lot of the stuff in the art district, and we aren't really getting the support we need to help clear stuff out.
It's probably the heart of the town, don't you think? I mean, how are people supposed to keep up their inspiration and their morale if they don't have the arts?
Exactly.
Well, actually, the heart of the town is the kilns and the industry that
No one
floods
cares.
the economy.
Anyway, well, we should do something about that.
That's what old shoot, what is his name? That's what old Longtooth says. Oh, my kilns were destroyed. Oh no. It's like, okay, but I have like libraries and books and pottery and art that is completely ruined. And if we can't move it out, it's going to be ruined for good.
Yeah, V. Books. Books that'll be ruined if we don't do something about them. And probably like art supplies and macrame and beads and stuff too, right?
Well, the books are more important. I mean, that's history and culture and everything else all entwined in just such nice little pages.
I'm so glad that you think I'm right again. Anyway. Well, we will definitely help you with the art district. However, unfortunately, in the penguin pirate attack, several of our friends were wounded, and we've been told that, the healer's really busy. It's like, I'm sure the healer's very busy, but we need to have our friends seen to if we're to save the town. Don't you think?
Yeah, let me go talk with her and see if we can get you in, she says.
And we probably need a place to stay too.
Yeah. Well, I would normally offer you a place near my studios, but they've been flooded, so I'll see what I can do about that. I'm sure the healers have room for now, though. She will walk with you to the healers area and is going to give you a few tidbits. So basically, she'll relate much about the flood that the captain did, except more on the. And she's too worried about the kilns and cleaning up the wall, and I don't have the resources I need to move my paintings and library stuff and what have you from the art district out. She also gives you a couple of other tidbits about other rumors that she's heard. I think I'm just gonna lay it out because you rolled pretty high there. One second, just looking for where I kept this tab. There are so many. She mentions, I think this is probably the one she'd hear about. There was someone just in town from Milltown. I heard that the Great Underground Duchy is making a move there. They built a tunnel.
Mm.
They'll probably, they're moving on the front there. I've always worried. Everyone's always talking about the wall here protecting us, but like moles literally burrow underground. I don't understand why it would help us. Longtooth says something about the bedrock or whatever, but I don't know. They are pretty good at digging.
It's
Well,
true.
the fact that they've taken Rooston, which is a coastal city, and you are a coastal city, proves that they can take coastal cities despite any moisture in the ground. And yourself and Ice Trap are probably strategically of importance since you are in between their two taken cities at this point. So I would say there's reason to worry.
Yeah,
Tech is
well,
very
as
smart.
long as the arts are secured, it's fine. We don't have to worry about the wall or anything.
Agreed.
All right. So I think you probably at least Tack and Fritz are probably going to be spending the day at the healer camp. Tack, I think that would take care of your injury entirely. Fritz, we'll just slowly remove yours over time while you're here. Because you'll just have access to a healer. You will still need to pay them though, even though you are budging in line. Which would involve 2 value of supplies for Tack and 3 value of supplies from Fritz, which I think is either something you are carrying around that's worth that value or just marking that many depletion. Other people can obviously also pay if they need to.
Or is it 1 for Tack? Because Tack only had 1 left.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it can be 1.
1 per. Cool. All right. Well, I think we'll take the time that Tack is getting patched up, and they're getting their first round of treatment to settle into whatever quarters our friend, the not Trash Panda, you know what I'm saying?
Whoever they are, really. When you think about it. Yeah, I think they'll find you some I think the healer has some extra room here because several people are displaced at the moment. I'd probably say so. There's probably some sort of communal bedding situation going on, and you can just.
No, I want to stay with our friend.
Oh, she is also staying here because her house is also. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll stand next to her, and we'll make little pillow forts.
Excellent. So, now what do you do?
Can I use... I guess this would probably be Lore Master, but I want to study the book from the mole people.
Mm-hmm.
And try to see if I can figure out if there's any tactical information that would tell me if they're trying to come to Oakenhold.
Okay.
Like plans.
Yes.
Go ahead and roll with cunning.
That is a 10.
All right. Hmm. So with consulting this book and the tactics within, here's some information that you know in general about the Great Underground Duchy from their strategy. Indeed, they typically prefer to attack any settlements by burrowing upwards. These strategies are relatively new. For a very long time, they never really bothered with the surface world. This is a new, like, no one's really seen this faction before they burrowed up and just sort of hung out here. But from the tactics book, typically the tunnel's not noticed until like the day it is finished. They are pretty quiet diggers until they are basically at the surface. Even ask a follow-up question.
Yes. Is there anything in the book about like tremors, like if they've scribed like noticing anything that causes, tunnel collapse, or they hit upon
They
something
don't build
that
tunnels
caused...
that collapse. So there's nothing.
Naturally.
There's nothing about what if like the only time it mentions tunnel collapse is if they were under attack by some other force who forcibly collapsed their tunnels. What do you do then? And the answer is dig. What do you got claws, man? Dig out.
You did.
So
Okay. Cool.
yes.
What did you learn from studying your dusty old tome?
Well, I don't think that the duchy is responsible for what happened with the shaking and all of that stuff. They're usually pretty subtle and stealthy. So this doesn't seem like them. Maybe just like a natural occurrence.
Well, now, no offense, could be beavers. Like, what if beavers built a dam, which is a wonderful, lovely thing, I'm sure, and it broke, and then the dam broke, and then it caused a wave. That can happen.
First of all, this town looks absolutely glorious with this little bits of water in the streets. It looks like a marsh. It looks... I could wade for it all day. But secondly, it's probably the Eyrie. They must have dropped something very big from very high up.
Ooh.
Nothing like marsh.
No, a marsh, not the marsh. I know it's confusing.
Well,
yes, 1,000 eagles flew up above into the sun with a great boulder and then dropped it into the center of the, I don't know, sea, lake, or river, whatever that big body of water is. And then boom, the wave came up and crashed against the walls and cracked them asunder. Write that down. That's good.
No.
If Fritz were an eagle, Fritz would do that.
Yes, it's a description of history in the making.
Yes, but Fritz is a cat.
Yes.
A cat that is obsessed with blowing things up. The Eyrie doesn't strike me as the type.
Well, maybe a bunch of Marquisate cats came in with a bunch of boom boom powder and blew it up in the middle of the lake. 1,000 cats swam down into the depths, beyond the reach of the sun, with, I don't know, claws full of TNT, and then they blew it up, and then boom, there was a huge explosion and a fast...
How many times do we have to tell you that the Marquisate has already retreated and that they wouldn't have anything to do with the lake because cats don't like water?
We killed some of them, though. They're not all gone.
Well, yes, but why would they be in the lake
when they don't know.
Like water?
I don't know. I know one cat, and they're, well, unpredictable.
I still think we can't rule out the GUD.
Oh, no, it absolutely wouldn't surprise me if they're still digging on their way over here, but I don't think that the tremor was caused by them.
Well, they
How long ago was the
clearly
tremor?
knew which way we were going.
2 days.
Like 2 days ago.
2 days ago. Oh, they probably, once they breached the walls, they probably would have popped up and then started making everyone fill out unnecessary paperwork.
Yeah, I don't think that they would have made it so that the walls collapsed because I don't think that they want water in their tunnels. That just seems like poor design.
It's true.
They're a little more rigorous than that.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to inspect the damage of the walls to see if I can see what caused it, whether it's explosions or cracks or whatever.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sure there's a move that's like that. Do you have anything in particular with being cool? Not exactly. Go ahead and just roll the read a tense situation. That's probably good enough.
Yeah.
That would be 11.
11. Cool. So you can ask the questions listed there, but I'll take some extra ones because this isn't exactly super tense, and only one of them really seems to be related.
I suppose, what should I be on the lookout for?
Well, you are looking out at this wall. I think you should be on the lookout for this is a wall where people can ascend and walk on top of it as far as guarding goes. You should be on the lookout for any areas that are still liable to collapse. I think with your expertise and generally with craftsmanship, you're able to maybe note a few sections like that are going to cause problems if you were walk on it, or maybe you're a little more unstable. Usually near a crack, but sometimes it doesn't seem to have very visible problems, so you can alert people to that if you wish.
No romantic walks along that section of the parapet.
No.
Can I see Can I see what type of damage I believe caused it?
Yeah. So for your expert opinion, you do believe the majority of this damage does seem to be caused by water. It's a variety of water damage. The whatever wave surge that came from the lake was probably strong enough to weaken certain areas of the wall that was already weak, worked its way into there. Something had fallen onto, like a tree had fallen onto the part that was collapsed. You could see that the remains of that. People have been clearing it out for the last day or so, but
How long do I think it would take to repair the wall? If I'm assuming the entire town is doing the work, not me.
The entire town is doing the work. The large section might take a month-ish or so. The cracks themselves would probably be just a couple weeks. But that would be dependent on if you could have enough materials. Not all the materials from the wall are still usable, so you'd have to have more. There isn't. You're probably not familiar with the area. You know there's kilns. You figure some of this is done with bricks made from the kilns. Not all of it, some of it's stone. You don't know if they have a quarry here or not, but he probably does.
Well, that's my question, so I guess we'll never know what's made up of the bricks.
Well, if
the bricks themselves, you know the bricks are clay based stuff, or whatever bricks are, fired clay. That seems right. That's what brick is.
I have had an idea.
Uh-oh.
Oh dear.
What we must do... We've all seen ripples on a pond, right? What we must do is scout up and down the shore to determine the extent of the destruction, and from that we plot the epicenter. And then we travel to the epicenter and see what we can find, and if there are dastardly doings going on there, we thwart them. And then we're heroes.
This is an open water sea, right? Rather than a lake, or
it is like the Great Lakes. This is a lake that is vast. If you go to the other side, there is another woodland, but no one does that. That's crazy.
So there might be tide lines along the shore.
Yeah.
Or, hear me out on this, we do what we said we'd do and help find some of the missing townspeople. Just think about it, Marsh. How grateful would these people be if their favorite hero, folk singer, artist came and rescued them in the middle of the woods? I mean, your reputation would just go up.
I don't know. I think I'm going to need you to talk more about how great I am.
And maybe if we find them, then we'll stumble upon whatever might have caused this, and then they'll thank you even more. And I mean, really, how much better can it get? It just, either way, it looks great for you, but
I mean, it is true. It is
good.
true. I mean, I've always found that trying is kind of pointless. Things just happen.
Yes, exactly.
So we just kind of blithely wander along and do stuff. And then if we're meant to find things, we will. And either way, I wind up being more famous. All right, you've convinced me. So let's get to saving artwork. I mean, sorry, historical artwork, and historical pottery and historical paint pots and things like that.
It's gonna be so painful seeing all those waterlogged books.
Well,
Maybe
you know
there's
how to
something we
preserve
can
them, right?
salvage.
You can fix them.
Oh, I mean, mostly it depends on the extent of the damage, but I mean, I am pretty good, so.
Let's back to me. Anyway, all right. Well, we have a plan. We're going to save the history of the town.
And then save the townsfolk that are missing, too, because we said we'd do that also.
Sure. If we run across any, we'll save them. We'll let them know that they're saved.
Seems reasonable. So are you setting off to do this on the day you arrive? Or are you waiting a bit to get healed up? Are you
Well, I think we take at least
splitting up your endeavors?
one day at the healers to get Tack fully healed and to have Fritz not be on death's door.
Yeah.
And maybe my player recommendation would be like spend a couple of days in town, like rescuing the most at-risk books and things to make sure that Fritz is mostly healed before we start venturing out into the area to find any stragglers.
Yeah.
It might be useful to arrange some way to get money.
I mean,
No,
we're sort of handling priceless cultural artifacts that have great intrinsic value, so...
Oh, well, I mean, of course.
And in the destruction, no one knows what's been ruined and what hasn't, so just say it.
Well, I mean, we don't need to take anything, but I think that the
Preserve,
act of
we're
preservation
preservers, yes.
itself... Well, but we
Ooh.
want to give it back to the town, and I mean, naturally, we can be compensated for our efforts. I
Yes.
mean,
We can form a society with the purpose of preserving historical artifacts. And then people will give us money, because we're a nonprofit, of course. But collectively will donate money to us so that we can help to contribute to the preservation of historical things.
And also plan weddings.
oh gosh,
Well,
I'm doing
yes.
so many things. We have so many businesses.
So Hack wanders around knocking on door to door asking for donations.
Yes.
Help preserve the cultural history of Oakenhold.
Yes, yes.
We'll make a banner that we can tie to Hector's leg, and he can fly over the city.
We 100% borrow one of Fritz's scarves. V can create like illuminated script, very gothic. Oakenhold Historical Preservation Society, donate today, and then Hector will fly above town, and V and we will shame Tack into walking around with a little hat, looking cute.
Yes.
Okay. So let's say it's the next day. You vaguely have a plan of staying around here in town to get artifacts and stuff. see. Bea is there with you. You know, everyone's kind of eating a shared breakfast situation, probably a pot of porridge that everyone is sharing from, and so on.
No
Yeah.
sardines.
No sardines.
Don't you think
No-
the GUD?
I think I'm staying with Rodia, not with
in
this. I'm not a
town?
cruel person.
Well, no one's really gone out fishing the last few days due to.
I feel like the GUD, since they knew we were on the river or the water, they probably expect us to be here.
Wait a second. We were on the water 2 days ago, weren't we? Did we
Yeah,
see a big
we were.
wave?
If you go ask, you didn't see a big wave.
Okay.
But if you go and ask Rhodia at some point, because she's been on her boat, she's
Yeah.
hanging around here. To be honest, she is probably going to be doing a crossing soon, Hector, because there are people who will pay her to ferry them out of town at this point.
What? No.
I know, right? She's like, I'll be back. The ferry will be back here in like a week. You'll still be here, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so if you ask her, she'll be like, no, I didn't notice a big wave. But then she thinks about it, she's like, oh, there was that weird, it was hard to notice, but I think like there was a little like swell situation going on for a bit. It was a little odd, but it wasn't like a big wave or anything. It wasn't a storm. Like she noticed something odd about the water, but nothing that was like a huge wave situation.
It was like 2 days ago?
Yeah.
Which kind of implies that it was a medium-sized event that was very near the walls rather than a big one far away.
Maybe.
If the wave attenuated.
Maybe. Then again, I don't know how waves work.
Yes. But yeah, there's enough traveling merchants. Some of them are here to sell things, but a number of people are like, I don't want to stay here. I was here because there was a cool big wall that was protecting me, and I would like to not be here.
Well, don't go to Rooston.
Unfortunately, that's where the ferry goes. So.
Oh. Enjoy Rooston.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a lovely place. I feel bad about the barn, though.
Oh, check out the famous crater.
The smoldering remains of the famous barn.
Yes.
Well, I intend to stay in town until the day Rodia leaves. I'm going to be on the docks and I'm going to wave goodbye and...
Okay, yeah.
That will give us time
Exactly.
to heal up Fritz entirely then.
Yeah, I mean, she's hanging out. She's in town. She's just letting you know, like, oh, there's some people want to travel in the next day or so. So you know, so if there's business in town to attend to, such as the stuff, because Bae is very excited. She's like, all right, you ready? We're gonna save all this art stuff. It's gonna be great.
Yes. We should sort
Ancient
all the
needs.
artwork into 3 piles. The things that are irretrievably lost, the things that are going to require specialized attention from a historical preservation expert and a master of the arts. And then those things that are going to be fine as long as we just move them out of the water.
Yeah, can do.
I'll lean into B and be like, and make a 4th pile so that Marsh feels included because I'm not letting him touch anything I'm preserving.
Oh,
The-
okay.
Yes.
The pile of things that require our attention includes things that, you know.
I know. I just don't want you touching anything that I have.
Oh, don't worry. You can have all the books.
So it is just Bea and Radia, except she's not really helping. She's more like somehow has a flask and is watching mostly, and then gnawing on anything that needs gnawing on, which is wood mostly. It's like, you know, when a beaver needs a toothpick, it's more like, give me that log. I'm just going to shave off a little bit of it for fun. At any rate, so it's just you guys and Via pretty much who are here clearing things out. There's a few other people that he probably introduces as like other artisans of the community who kind of work around here. who might also be helping out in their areas, but she says not everybody who lives and works here is able to help out. For Tondrick has really mustered a lot of people to deal with the wall, and Longtooth keeps complaining about his dumb kiln, so whatever. So let's see. Can you? I think some of you are going to be looking at perhaps doing the roguish feat of counterfeiting to try to make copies of things and so on. But if you aren't, let's just go around and see what you're doing to help out with this situation. So we can start with Marsh.
Well,
so you can just say what you're doing, and whatever. Either it'll just happen because it's simple, or you'll do a roll.
I think what I am doing is being the center of attention by being outlandish and entertaining and, because that will help everyone else do other sneaky stuff. So, it's going to make me tired. Oh, so that's another 11 on the die. So that's 14. I do mark exhaustion. But if you are sneaking, hiding, pickpocketing, or trusting fate, you will get a +1. So if anyone wants to grab some shinies or sneak in and grab some stuff and sneak out with it or whatever, you will get a +1. As I do a little song and dance. As I hold up each item and then make up spontaneously some melodramatic story about its origin.
Yeah. And then Bay will tell you the actual origin, but sometimes she'll be all
better.
like, yeah, it was that exactly. That's exactly what it was, but it wasn't. I will also note that since you got a 10+, you can also hold one to boost an allies to a +3
That's
when
right.
they do one of those things.
That's right. Thank you.
Tack.
Hack is just trying to keep a low profile because Tack feels like there's going to be the GUD here soon, or at least some agents of them. And I'm not trying to endanger a bunch of townspeople. But I think it's already too little too late because we've been here a while. We've been around. Mark's has obviously been recognized, and Fritz has been in the hospital for quite some time, up close and personal. So I think for the most part, Tack is more on the lookout, like trying to keep a low profile and also trying to make sure, like, looking at people's eyes, seeing if they're lingering a little too long, and any potential scouts, or because we know they're not above using mercenaries. So,
Are you hiding to gain some sort of advantage in your ability to see people doing things that they wouldn't do if they knew you were there?
yeah, I sneak or hide. I have both those feats.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Get a 1.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
+1 from me. Unless you already counted
Okay.
that.
No, I didn't.
Oh, so 10.
All right. So you can sneak or hide depending on what you're doing. I think sneak because I think you're looking at things.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hiding implies you're hiding from somebody else. Sneak is sort of like I'm looking around at things. I don't think you notice anything that seems out of the ordinary. There does seem to be a rabbit you've seen approach Tondrick a few times. And Tondrick is polite, but just sort of like, I'm busy kind of action. Yeah, I think that's it for now. Hector, what are you up to while helping with this art stuff?
So I know how to counterfeit stuff, and I'm also aware that V does as well.
And me.
So I presume that one of us would either take a help action in order to help the other. So I'm going to do that.
Is there helping? I don't remember.
Yeah.
There is.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Help or hinder.
Yes.
Or help or interfere.
So it's just I mark exhaustion and then V gets a +1.
Okay. And you can hold on doing that until you know it's needed. Like, you can wait till the roll happens and then do the thing. All right. Fritz, what are you up to?
Is it possible to sharpen a sword? Is that helping? I don't know. Probably not.
You can sharpen a sword, but I don't think it's going to have any effect on what's going on.
At least not a good one, considering it has, isn't it clearly
Yeah.
a faction sword?
Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah. Wait, what sword do you have?
I
It's not
have
the Marquisate sword.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that one. The one that we leave wrapped up unless you need to make people angry. That sword.
Yeah.
We were gonna plant it at the wedding, but
Yes.
Things got a bit out of hand, if you will.
We just kidnapped one of the brides instead.
Well,
Bruce
Oh,
did.
somebody else did.
We just
Potato, potato, they're all flaming.
Yes.
Perfectly crisp.
We didn't kidnap anyone. We did poison everyone,
Yes.
including ourselves.
Best plan.
yes. Fritz, you're welcome to take out the sword and sharpen it, though it would not do anything. Otherwise, if you don't think you have a particular skill for otherwise preserving the things, I'm sure you can help people sort them into piles and stuff like that.
Yeah, Fritz could help sort things into piles the best that Fritz can do.
Perfect. Hold on, let me check how angry everyone is at you. Oh, not angry, but good for you. Let's see. So, you end up working. Bea's been help direct some of the stuff of where it goes. So you end up spending a good portion of the, say, morning with her, and she's just talking about this and that, and sort of like, oh, okay, well, okay, so that one should go there and that go there, and this one is kind of waterlogged papers. Maybe they can put that in the pile, and they put it in the pile that V and Hector are working at, and so on. And she says, so how long have you been a vagabond? To Fritz.
Fritz just stares for an awkward amount of time.
And it's more awkward because you are wearing a mask, so it's very hard to read your facial expressions at all. And she goes, oh, the strong silent type, eh? And she gives you an elbow.
And Fritz opens up their jacket and pulls out, like, it's an old one, okay? It's the ring of
Everyone just like, no!
Fritz, no, your jacket!
it's just like one from already exploded, because they just carry around the used ones for absolutely no reason, and then just hands it to them.
And Bea'll take it and say, oh, this is neat. What is it?
Boom boom stick.
It's not dangerous, is it?
No.
Oh, okay. Visibly relaxes. Well, neat. Thank you, I think.
I think that's how cats say they like you.
It's also when Fritz then knocks it out of her hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to hold it up and dangle it so Fritz can do this.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then V, I presume you're doing the...
Yeah, I'm doing the counterfeiting /
Okay.
copying whatever stuff. I'm gonna use a major boon.
Sounds like a good
I just
idea.
got snake eyes.
Oh dear.
Okay, God, that's much better. That is it's a 10 plus. I got a 10 plus, so 11. Yeah, 11.
Cool. Then you set out what you want to do. I think you are making, you recognize which ones can be salvaged just by air drying, and which ones that need you to copy. So you and Hector probably you probably both been working together. We just do it off your roll. Have been working fairly hard throughout most of the morning to make copies. It's a bit tedious, to be writing down a lot of information. Some of them have illustrations, and you're like, well, I can probably trace this, which is an exciting, like maybe it will be what it once was. There's still quite a few pieces of art that are not really salvageable. So as you while I'm thinking about it, Fritz, go ahead and mark an exhaustion because you have to carry a lot of stuff all day. Lucky you. As this is going on, at some point, probably around when you're all taking a lunch break, Radia probably wandered off and came back with some fish because she can take time to fish. Make some stuff. I know V's all like, please.
My lore or my fish, which one do I choose?
I love them both so much.
They're both so dear and dear to my heart.
So as you're taking a bit of a lunch break, suddenly a beaver heads over, a different beaver. He is graying and prickly is what I described him as. You can make your own decision what that looks like. And V, you recognize this is Mason Longtooth, head kiln master here in Oakenhold, and he is heading right for Bia. And she's all like, not again. And they see he's walking over, it's like, you're taking all these people that could be helping out with my kiln or with the wall, and you're having them, what, make piles of trash, he says, kicking at one of the piles.
No, Master Longhorn, please don't.
Fortunately, he kicks at one of them that is the
oh, thank God,
not usable.
the destroyed pile.
Yeah, the destroyed pile, which I'm sure Fritz has been eyeing. Like everyone's like, hold.
It's wet. It won't burn yet.
And Bia stands up at this and says, my work is just as important as your kiln is, Mason. And Longtooth scoffs and is all like, it certainly is not, and it's been Captain was very clear that it's wall then kiln. Why are we working on this art stuff first? We have, I don't know, 10 of you or so that could be helping out with this wall, or at least going to kiln. Why are we working at all this stuff? And Bia starts responding, and they are arguing. People are starting to gather and watch, like people, looking over and seeing what's going on.
They're no longer paying attention to Marsh?
I know, right?
This is a tragedy.
I know. I'm so offended. So as I keep on it's getting closer and closer, like, no, look at me, and everyone's like, they're getting up in their face. Well, the nerve of that. To come in. All I have to say is if your kilns are so important, why aren't you fixing them? We came into town as a historical preservation society specifically to add to the resources of town, so that while you good people are seeing to the wall and the kilns, it wouldn't be taking the town's resources or excess town's resources to come and save the cultural heritage of your town. It's in our charter. You saw the sign flying up above earlier today.
He just gives you a blank stare, most likely.
Have you ever had to ask for zoning permission for a new kiln and had to deal with the Historical Preservation Society if you wanted to tear down, oh, I don't know, like an old hovel that someone important lived in 200 years ago? It can be a lot of red tape.
Listen, if you're here to preserve things that have historical value, those kilns stood here for generations before they were destroyed by this flood, probably.
But they're destroyed now, right?
Well, they're in a lot more pieces than I would hope, yes.
It's hard to preserve things that are destroyed.
We can rebuild them.
I 100% support you rebuilding new kilns. But then they're not historic, are they? No.
Oh, he angry. He angry at you.
No, Mason Longhorn, please. Or Longtooth, what is his name?
Longtooth.
Longtooth. Yes. Mason Longtooth, my friend here doesn't mean any harm. We just...
Of course not. Some of my best friends are beavers.
Oh gosh, don't say that. I'm V. You might have known my master who had a name. I don't remember what it was.
He's never had a name. You do have to make it up now.
Jeez. Fantasy name generator.
There is also a generator in the player spreadsheet. If you refresh that page, it just shoots a name in. Or you can just grab it off the data list because it's just pulling those from there. Which is where I got all these names from. Someday I'll run out.
Oh, that's
because
not
I
right.
seem to be generating at least like 5 to 7 NPCs per town.
Yes. His name was Wilfred Borrington.
He was Master Tibist.
Okay.
How do you spell that?
Tibost.
Tibos. Tibst. All right. He stops glaring so intently at Marsh for a second to look at you, and then kind of does that squint and goes like, "Oh, that's right, Tivus apprentice, aren't you?"
Yes, we did that wonderful article about the historical value of your kilns. Do you remember? It was such a fascinating this discovery to learn so much from someone who is so skilled with those objects.
Yes. It was a good article, and he looks sad for a moment, but is like, as I presume, well, you don't know what's going on unless you do the move thing. Unless you figure someone out. But but more or less, he does look rather sad for a moment before saying, well, they're destroyed, and the captain did put it higher on the priority list than this.
I completely understand. And, if we were still living in town, we would absolutely be all over the kilns, but we just got into town. And, my specialty especially lies a lot more in, this stuff and preserving, things like the article about your kilns and the history of them and the importance that they have in the town and all of, the logs of your trades, because that's important to keep track of. You never know for filing purposes. So, that's why we're here doing this. It's still helping the kilns, I promise.
Persuade an NPC, please.
Yeah. I got a 2.
What? How is that even possible? Is your charm negative?
No, my charm is 0, and I got snake eyes.
We do have a thing you could fix that
Do we
with.
have one more major?
Yeah, we do.
Pull on those heartstrings with my old master. Okay. Oh, that's much better. Okay, that's 8. Because I have 0 charm.
Okay. Just flip. Because something needs to happen.
Yeah, you will need to tell V what Master Longtooth needs to what V needs to do to sway Master Longtooth.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he needs you to come with him to Captain Tondrick to confirm that you were cleared to do this art project thing before the kill. Like, you checked in with the captain, right? So we can just go there and talk and be cool, right?
Yeah, we can just clear this up with the captain. I'm sure she'll understand why my services are needed here over anything else. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I will tell you she gave us a different list when we first came into town, but I don't think she realized the importance of this. So we'll just have to talk to her, make sure that she's okay with it, and then we'll be fine.
He says, and Via's all like, I'll come and talk too.
We should all go, because last time V went off on her own, she wound up committing us all to plan a mole wedding.
And it was a beautiful mole wedding.
It was. It was. It was very celebratory, explosive even. We definitely flamed the fans of their flamed fans. I don't know. The fire of their passion grew larger as a result of our planning.
And the cake was an absolute knockout.
It was. I see what you did there.
Anyways,
everyone
the
who
talk to the
wasn't there is all
captain.
like, what's going on?
Yes. Are you sure you want us anywhere near your kilns?
So
So
it was a blast.
It was a blast.
It was a blast. Everyone had a blast there. So you all, I assume, head over towards where the captain is. I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to. He said all, but you don't have to.
Well, given that there are 2 piles of identical artifacts that we've just casually made, I feel like somebody ought to stay behind and scoop
Watch
one
them.
of the piles up into a bag.
Yes, one of them. You stay, Hector, and guard the valuables.
Oh
Okay.
god. So
Yeah,
maybe
I was like,
somebody should
someone
stay
was
and watch
planning on stealing
Hector.
something.
No, Hector can
Something.
guard the valuables very well. He's a bird. He has excellent eyesight and can see if anyone's trying to do anything weird.
I also have great legs.
It's true.
Yeah, you do, says Radia. All right. Anyway, so you all, we'll just follow the group that goes to talk to the captain, who, if you're interested in what's going on around here, give me a figure someone out, and you can ask about any of the parties who are involved in this conversation, which is the captain, the mason, Longtooth, and Bia.
I am vaguely curious.
Yeah.
I will roll as well. With my massive cunning. It's not negative.
Wait, is
Good
this
God.
cunning or charm?
Charm.
For figuring someone out?
Yeah, it's
It's
read
reading
a tense situation,
Oh.
unless you'd rather ask the questions that are in read a tense situation. But I don't think, like, it's tense, but not like in the danger tense.
Yeah, I don't think
about
that
these
those
people
questions make
tense.
sense.
Got it.
Hack failed it. She's too busy looking at other people.
It's
I got a
7.
9.
13.
Okay. So with a 13, you can hold 3. And with a 9, you can hold 1. you can ask those questions about any of the 3 individuals here. You can just let me know who you're asking it about.
What is Captain Longtooth really feeling?
Mason, the beaver Mason.
Yeah, Mason.
Longtooth?
Sorry, Mason Longtooth. Yes.
Yes. What is he really feeling? He has feeling quite a few feelings. He's absolutely livid about your disrespect about his kilns, Marsh. He is angry that they are destroyed. He is angry that no one is coming to help. He is sad about them being destroyed. He's angry at Bia, you know, doing frivolous things in his mind. So generally just like angry and sad. Yeah, I think those are his feelings.
How can I get him to lean into the sad part? You know, the whole like you're using angry and you're lashing out and you're putting it in bad places and to cover the sadness. How can I trigger him to have an emotional breakdown in sadness?
Probably point out how irreparable the historic kilns are.
Okay.
Like how beautiful they were and now it's gone forever. Look, it's in pieces and you could never repair the way it was before. A tragic loss for this community.
Yes.
Will you ever work again, really, if you think about it? It'll never be the same.
And is Bea telling the truth? Or Bea?
Telling the truth in general?
Yeah, just like is her whole, oh, I just want to save the art stuff. Is that like legit or is she up to something?
Yeah, that's legit.
Cool. Well,
she's just you're definitely, she's telling the truth. No one's really seeing this as a priority. It's her priority.
Yes. Well, then as I walk, I will compose a little ditty. And a requiem ode to the great kilns and all that they meant to the people and how teeny tiny the pieces are in which they're smashed. And how the entire city, the heart of the city has been stilled and quenched, perhaps never to beat again. And then I will just elicit a little tiny bit of hope. So yes, but the memory remains, the history remains, all the contributions they've made to the culture of the town remains in the collective memory and history and records of town. And as long as we can preserve that, they will live again. But it's a real tearjerker.
Yeah. I appreciate you moving directly to emotionally manipulate that guy.
Of course.
Yeah, naturally, as you do.
Well, we don't want him to be angry, do we? So he should be paralyzed with grief instead.
Oh, yeah. V, did you have any question you wanted to ask?
Yeah, can I ask about the captain? How do I get her to just let us do what we were doing?
I think it'd either be a stressing of the importance of the job, or I think you realize that the captain might be a little like, she gave you a specific area to check on, and therefore no one's checked on it in like a day, and might be like, hey, what if someone was missing? So you might want to come up with a reason of how either you'll still be able to take care of that at the same time, or like return the work, or be all like quickly like, oh yeah, we sent someone to do that, and then find someone to do that for you.
I mean, we can split up too, because it's not like all of us are really helping. B doesn't even want Marsh touching certain things.
Yes.
What? Yeah, no. Well, and we just got a couple of our friends out of the hospital, so there was a lot going on. So we just kind of
reasonable
forgot
like,
about
oh
it.
yeah, we were delayed, and we thought this would be due to our talents, and we can also do both, like anything like that.
And Tack has been snooping. Tack has legit been snooping this entire time.
I know Tack did see something.
Yeah.
A person
And
going up and
anybody's already
asking the
voted.
captain for something.
Cool.
All right. So, angry guy there. Everyone's talking. When do you sing the song?
Oh no, it's I begin it on the way with the intent that by the time we hit the captain, he is a sobbing wreck.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a roll. Which is probably. I'll leave it up to you whether it's persuade an NPC or trick an NPC.
I think it's persuade. Because it's playing on the
Ethos.
yeah. $10.
Yeah, they're a sobbing mess by the time you're
I'm just
there.
like,
I
oh,
mean,
it's so sad. And I'm patting him on the back and say, but remember that last verse. As long as the memory remains, the kilns might rise again.
so the captain trying to see you is more confused why you're there than anything else, and it's just like, are you okay, Longtooth? And Longtooth's all like, no, I'll be fine. I'm just worried about the kilns. You know, they're just in so many pieces. It's like a bomb went off in the kiln area. It's just
True.
And the captain's like, the floods work in weird ways, I guess. Well, I'm sure once we get the wall secure and we get the people done, we can. Maybe they'll have some free time to go look at the kiln. How's that list coming along, V?
Oh, well, we had those injured friends.
Yes,
So they've
yes.
they've just been barely getting better, and we wanted everybody to go to look. But in the meantime, while they've been recovering, and Mace and Longtooth came and found us, but we went to the art district with Bia because my skills lie in historical preservation. So we just wanted to check and make sure that it was okay that we were also helping to preserve the culture and history of the town while we wait for our friends to be ready so that we can go find the people that are missing. Naturally.
Naturally, and Captain Tondra gives Bia a look, and Bia does one of the like, and
Well, it also might be significant because maybe we can find the blueprints for the kilns buried within what remains of the art district. I mean, that would be significantly helpful in rebuilding them.
Tondrick does kind of look like this, and interesting, and
We moved from pathos to logos.
Yes.
yeah, exactly. Interesting, and then there's exactly, those are probably in there somewhere. Tondrick's like, all right, we'll keep at it, but just make sure you at least ask people around town who are in that area if anyone's missing. You won't have to go outside unless someone actually has left town.
For
Yes.
sure.
I know we've had some people out and about, but I assume everyone's mostly been accounted for by now. Well, actually, you should check in with Soren. She's been bothering me. I think her house is around there, up the hill a bit.
Who is that?
Oh, she's a citizen of town.
I mean,
I think you know her, V. She's just another person. You've seen her around. I don't think you know her or anything like that.
I mean, I probably recognize her.
Yeah.
I assume this is the rabbit I saw going up to her.
Yes. It is. Because she describes her quick, and yeah, it's the same other rabbit, light brown fur, looks like a mom.
very well. We will check in with Soren, the rabbit mom.
Yes. Very good. Well, I'm glad you've all resolved this discussion.
Well, we do tend to bring peace and harmony wherever we go.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Hector, how's that stealing going?
Absolutely great.
You
In
have
fact, I've
pickpocket?
done it all. It's complete. No need
Are
to
you
roll.
sure?
Just
Yeah, you need to roll something. You don't know how to pickpocket, so we're just going to go straight to let's see, is there any other? I don't think any of the ones you have are exactly what you need to do here.
no, I think it
so
would
just,
probably be a sneak or something, but I don't have that, so.
Yeah, so just this is, and you don't have one of the rogue skills, it's just trust fate. So roll luck that no one notices this.
I would like to use a major boon.
We have one left.
And with my major boon, that would be 8.
Neat. All right. Let's see. So you can grab some stuff. So what kind of stuff are you trying to grab here?
Well, I'm really trying to dispose of the evidence of the fact that we've forged a load of things. I'm trying to steal the stuff that we've forged.
Well, I think that the point was that you were making copies, so everything was
Right, Tough made that roll earlier.
yeah.
But that was, I think,
I helped
in aid of actually preserving, like making copies
Yeah.
of the damaged ones to actually preserve them. And it may not be that it's likely that those don't have like a lot of monetary value.
Right.
But there's probably like
So-
artifacts and paintings and sculpture and stuff that does.
I have absolutely no idea how I would have any idea what's valuable or not.
You guys, you're vagabonds. You're pretty good at estimating value of things because you have to trade stuff that you find in ruins and things like that. You can tell if anything is made of a material or is particularly intricate. You might have a little harder time deciphering like more complicated text if there was any of those.
Yes, so I'm going to bag the most valuable looking things I can see.
Okay. Good. I'm sorry. Were you saying more?
Not really. I was going to elaborate, but I'm just bagging the most valuable things I can see.
All right. You probably find about one value worth of stuff. I mean, this is stuff that's been in a flood, but you can pocket enough interesting items of note to you, that is. And we'll deal with the complication later. I think that will suffice. I'll just remember something horrible happens to you later. It'll be fun. So in the afternoon is pretty much like the morning. You don't need to make another roll or anything. Everything kind of continues unless anyone is splitting off to go talk to Soren.
You're muted, Zero.
We should do that on the way back, don't you think?
She lives in town. It's just a different area of town.
Yeah, swing by Soren's place before we head back to the arts district. Or should we swing by and pick up Hector so we can all go and meet her?
I mean, we could grab Hector and stop by where we're staying for a minute and then go see Soren.
Oh yes, we probably should check in with the healer to make sure that Fritz is safe to travel.
Yes.
Yes. Sounds like a plan.
All right, so you do so. Fritz is getting better. Good job, Fritz. Make sure you mark all your depletions for all those injuries you had. And then we go to Soren's house. Further in the town, this area of town, the buildings are still mostly intact. Some of them are a little damaged from like wind or like a tree that fell, unfortunately for that house in particular, but most of them seem more or less untouched by any of the floodwater because it's a little farther away from the low-lying dock area. I presume you go to the door.
Knock, knock, knock.
Yeah.
And knock, 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 and she answers and says, first is like answers it like quickly, like, oh, hey, and then sees it's not who she's expecting, perhaps, and then says, oh, can I help you?
Yes. Hi. I'm Fee. You might remember my master Tivist.
Oh, that's right, the apprentice. Oh, so
And I'm Marsh. I'm
you.
sure you know who I am.
Everyone knows who you are, Marsh.
Of course you do.
The captain said that we should maybe come talk to you and that you might have somebody that we need to find.
Oh, yes, yes. Here, why don't you all come in? We can sit down and have some tea. She invites you in. There's already a pot, a kettle on the stove. I don't know. Over the fire? Where are we? I don't know. She makes you all tea really quick as she speaks. She says, "Oh yes, my daughter Fog. You might remember her. You probably do. She at this point would be a teenager. Um, she was fine after the flood. But her and some of her, well, I sent her to go check on her grandmother. She lives on the far outskirts of town, much farther out. I want to make sure that she was safe. And that was just yesterday, and she hasn't come back. And she should have easily made the journey in a single day. So I don't know if she's just staying there but she would have sent me a message, of course, if she had stayed there. Like, you wouldn't just not contact me and let me not know that your worried mother is just sitting here waiting for you to come back home. Like, that she's overpouring a glass of tea while she's speaking.
The tea. Maybe the message just got lost in transit, but I mean, just to ease your worries, we can definitely go check on that.
Oh, that would be so wonderful. Thank you. She'll give you directions to where her mother's house is, which is Fogg's grandmother, and tells you what Fogg's looks like. Looks kind of like her, only younger. Yes, and her grandmother lives at the edge of town. I think maybe even outside the wall. There are some people who live outside the wall on the far side of town, more in the fields. Well, where some fields might be past all of the forest stuff.
Would this be towards Ice Trap, maybe? Or Tonnery?
No, I think it's going more towards Tonnery. Yeah, I'd say.
So, little sit rep. Sent teenage daughter to grandma's house.
Yeah.
And but she's a teenager, right? Or do they do things like that? Like, I'm gonna party, or my mom can just like whatever, and
Yes, she has been a bit. Yes, but we did just have a rather tragic event in the town. Surely she would realize the importance of letting me know she was okay, and that my mother is fine as well after all of this event.
It's true. Teenagers are very considerate, I find. But sure, we'll go take a little walk and find out what we can find.
Oh, that would be so helpful.
And you'll just stay here in case she comes back.
Yes.
Okay.
Great, we'll go find your daughter.
Yeah, thanks for the tea.
Oh, you're welcome.
Right.
As we leave, I fly along with my flag a bit more.
Yes, thank you for that. It's called brand building. Got to introduce it to all the neighborhoods. So, I mean, I'm not a parent or anything like that, but as I understand it, you know, I don't know, fledglings, kids, whatever people call their children, tend to be very self-absorbed, egotistical. They don't consider other people's feelings unless they're manipulating those feelings to get what they want. I mean, terrible people. I think it's likely that the daughter just went out there and found something fun to do or got distracted.
Well, it doesn't do us any harm to go look.
I mean,
Probably
you
good we check
considered-
on the mother anyway. The grandmother.
Yeah, we should also check on the grandma just in case.
well, I
Have you
find that grandparents are very forgetful. They can't remember anything from moment to moment. They confuse people's names, etc.
Worst case scenario,
Heroes.
she found her grandma in a not great condition.
Oh, that's depressing. Oh, I could weave
I
that into my
would
tearjerker song. Thanks for that tag. Like as the bridge, right? Painting the picture of the shattered kilns and everyone in town weeping, and then there's a little girl going up the hill in the distance to go visit her grandmother, who was the light of her life, and oh, Granny's not doing so well. It's really coming together.
We're doing it all.
Let's just go check it out. If we don't find anything, then we'll just assume that it was just a teenager being a teenager. I mean,
Yes. And it's not like rabbits can't have more, if you know what I mean.
that's
Look, I'm just
So
trying to look.
harsh, Mark.
I'm trying to look on the bright side of things.
So are you going to the grandmother's house right now?
sure.
Okay. To grandmother's house. Into the woods.
It'll give Fritz a chance to get dry.
Sure, Fritz listen.
It is a bit of a hike to get to this the grandmother's place outside of town. Probably about, I don't know, an hour-ish or so. Certainly something that's easy enough to do in a day. And you head over there. The house looks fine. It's a little farmhouse. There's a little vegetable garden. It is growing carrots.
Of course.
Yeah,
Naturally.
naturally.
Go knock on the door.
And she answers the door. She looks like Soren, only older. And she's all like, "Oh, hello. What are you doing here?" She
Hi.
says, suspiciously reaching to the side of the door for nothing in particular.
No, we were looking for Fog. Soren sent us to check and see if she made it okay.
Oh, Fog? Yeah, she was here just yesterday. Stopped in, had some tea, sent her off with a nice big pack of cookies and some carrot cake, you know, my specialty. Do you want some? I still have some in cooling. A cake a day keeps the doctor away, you know.
No,
Well, the last cake that I had didn't really agree with me, so I might pass.
it's true.
Do you have any anchovy cake?
Any what?
Anchovy cake.
No, that sounds disgusting.
Yes.
But
Do you have a
yeah,
rum cake? He might like that.
What about meatloaf?
No, I'm a vegetarian, dear.
That sounds horrible.
Not that bad. You should give it a try. Also, I think we discussed that we don't eat meat in this universe.
Except fish.
Right.
Except fish. You can eat fish. It's a fish loaf.
Yes, fish loaf. Ooh, fish loaf.
Yes, but no, No, Fog was here yesterday, and he stopped, and we talked, and we had tea, and we had cake, and I asked her how her studies were going, and she didn't really say very much. And then I sent her on her way home. She wasn't at home?
No. Where do you think she would go if she wanted to keep all the cookies to herself? Eat them all and give none to her mother.
Well, she was hanging out with a couple of her friends who also came along, I guess.
Ooh, what were those friends like? Were they ne'er-do-wells?
They're all very good little rabbits and hedgehogs. They've always been friends, hanging out. You know, they used to go off back past the second field that I had. There's a little place they like to hang out there, but they haven't done that since they were very little. I'm sure they just took all of the goodies and went home.
But they didn't, though. Or else she would have been home. I suspect they went to their secret hideout and got hopped up on cookies. You know, like teenagers do.
It does sound like what teenagers do.
Yes.
They're always not listening to what you say.
It's true.
Doing the opposite things and not very considerate, are they?
I know.
It's always about them.
I know.
Absolutely. Well, at any rate, hopefully you can find her.
Well,
if she is missing, she might turn up at home.
Maybe. Well, give us the directions to your the field where they used to hang out. And we'll go check it out.
Just over there.
Sure.
She points.
Yeah, we can just...
She's already bundled some carrot cake in a little package.
All right. Well, thank you.
Trade that for cookies.
Yeah.
Yes. In case they're in a sugar coma, we can force feed it to them to wake them back up.
Yeah, you can unmark one depletion.
Yes.
Carrot cake. Congratulations.
Yay.
Just one of you.
They're probably out there smoking nettle leaf or something.
Was the house that Grandma lives in waterlogged or damaged in some way?
No, it's perfectly fine. You've been walking mostly uphill, like a slight incline, the worst kind of incline. Not steep enough for you to really work at it, but just enough to be like, this is harder than regular walking. It'll be enjoyable on the way down. I assume Hector kind of flew every now and then to avoid this situation.
Oh, grandmother, can we sign you up as a supporter, one of the inaugural members of the Historical Preservation Society?
Oh, a Historical Preservation Society?
Yes.
That sounds educational.
It is. It's important. It's important that all the memories of everyone here in town are preserved, don't you think?
Yes, I would sign up for that.
All right, well, put your name and address here. We'll send you a membership letter.
Sign.
Thank you.
All right. Where to, gang?
Well, to the ne'er-do-wells hideout.
All right. You go there. Go ahead and give me what are these questions on read a tense situation? Yeah, read a tense situation while you're there. You're looking around.
That sounds like a job for Tack, because Tack is tactically aware.
All right. Cunning. Ooh, 7. You're barely me.
All right, so you can ask one of the questions on the read a tense situation list.
Do we know where it is?
You are here at the clearing where they are, and you're looking around to see where they tracking. You're trying to track them where you are.
Can I do like what is my best way to where they are?
Yeah. That's fine. So, when you are looking around, I think you do find evidence that at least someone eating carrot cake was here. There are some crumbs, some Aragorn nonsense of like this blade of grass. Look, a single crumb. I found it. Um, but let me see. You can see some evidence that someone was a little further out. Some berry bushes and stuff have been recently disturbed. Even further out from the farm because you've kind of done like a circling search from that area, and you can see that that
Cloverleaf method.
yeah that you can see that like someone's been harvesting some berries here. But at some point you find two sets of tracks. One goes further into the woods, and the other set goes back to town.
Ooh.
Are they both bunny tracks, or is one clearly a hedgehog, one's clearly a bunny?
I don't think you can tell.
Wearing shoes.
Yeah, probably.
So if it was a hedgehog, they didn't do a forward roll.
Right.
No.
Well, the one that went back to town is probably not her. Because she wasn't back to town. So the one that went further into the woods must be her.
Possibly. Either way, there's a young teenager just out in the middle of the woods, and that's probably the priority regardless.
Probably so.
Yes.
So, Fritz, burn the woods down and scare them out.
No.
I mean, that can be plan B.
We don't say the B or the F word in front of
that's right.
Fritz.
Sorry.
Yes.
Fritz is
Like
always
saying walk in front of a dog, and then it's like, oh, now you have to go take him for a
Right.
walk.
Yeah,
Now we have to let you burn something
Fritz.
down. Don't worry, we'll let you burn something in a minute.
Fritz is ready.
At any moment.
Well, we should go search for her.
Yep. Follow the tracks that go further into the woods.
Okay.
We should make a lot of noise and call her name very loudly.
You could.
We should maybe not.
Okay.
Maybe just follow the tracks.
That's
so we
fine
don't
too.
Draw unwanted attention.
Should I be waving the flag just in case there are any customers out here?
I mean,
Yes.
bird's eye view might not be the worst.
It's true.
And if she does see you, maybe she can call out if she needs help.
Yes.
Plus, the reason you send out scouts is so that they get shots and you don't, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they
Is
get
it?
shots.
Is it?
It's to get intelligence, and so that when you do engage, they can get away, as opposed to a larger force would more likely get.
I'm not very intelligent. I can't hold that.
You'll do great, Hector.
Yeah.
I'm dumb. He's half drunk. All that tactical stuff. I don't know. You read too many comic books or something. You think a lot about like warfare and tactical maneuvers and advantageous positioning and things like that.
I used to play that nerdy game where you'd buy the little figurines and fight them against other people's little figurines.
No. I was too busy like learning to play guitar and getting popular.
I used to read the rule books for those all the time. They were very fascinating.
Why does that not surprise me?
Please don't name any of them, because Tack will not be able to be like, that was an absolute lie.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, we used to play Corvids overhead all the time, and then
Anyways, we should really, time's of the essence before it gets dark,
Yes. So if TAC is tracking, then presumably we're all following TAC.
Yeah.
unless you wish to fly above. I mean, above our heads.
Yeah, you can always fly up and kind of go a little bit ahead and then circle back.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, and I don't think you'll need to roll for this. You don't notice you all go into the woods often as vagabonds. Nothing seems particularly out of the ordinary, though. You were the first one then to see that the tracks seem to be leading towards a rather large hill with a rocky base, and what looks to be perhaps some sort of cave. So you do see this at some it's probably been a couple hours that you've walked into the woods at this point, 2 or 3. So it is starting to get dark. I think we're still summerish though, so.
Is this wooded hill? Are there trees on top of it, or?
Yeah, I think so. But more sparsely wooded than the surrounding woods, which gives you a better view of where the cave entrance is. What do you do, Hector?
Well, I'm going to land and wait for the walkers to catch up first.
Yeah. Go ahead and read a tense situation.
$11.
Oh, good. You can ask 3 questions.
Is the bunny tracks heading? Are the tracks heading in only a single set of tracks now, or are there other tracks around the area?
I think looking around, you do see a single set of tracks going into the cave.
Do I see any further entrances or shafts or anything like that?
Let's see. I don't think looking on the ground here, you do not see another way into the cave. If you were to fly around the area, I think you might see a small entrance to the cave, kind of like further up the hill over on a side, but it looks rather small. Like you all would, it would be like a squeezing kind of situation for you guys, even for a teenager as well.
I assume that we're all.
Yeah, there aren't any tracks or anything.
I assume all woodland animals are vaguely the same size-ish.
Yeah.
Except for Tack.
Of course, yes.
And have there been any berry bushes or the like around here that have also been picked clean?
There are berry bushes, but none of them seem as thoroughly picked as the ones you saw before. So probably not really.
Then I shall report my findings to Commander Tack.
Excellent. Hector is waiting with the findings.
Oh. Look, she went in there. Let's go.
Okay. Just be careful. Do we have a light?
Yes.
Yeah, do we have like a torch?
Not from Fritz.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
No. We promised Fritz could light something on fire. You can make a torch, can't you, Fritz?
A non-explosive torch.
Fritz can light it on fire, but somebody else needs to hold it.
Okay.
Fritz is flammable.
Yeah,
While the
Fritz
rest
has
of you are
too
here,
many
you
sticks
can
of dynamite.
also read a tense situation if you wish.
Nope, I'm not even gonna add anything because that didn't make it.
7. Which is 1, right?
Nope.
What do you
Uh,
get? Yes, 1.
a
Yes.
7. So what should I be on the lookout for?
So Marsh, as you are having Fritz light the torch and you're like, let's go in the cave, you look to the side of one of the rocks and notice a tuft of brown fur. Not rabbit fur.
Porcupine
Something
fur?
else
Okay,
that
so
might
I have fur.
live inside caves.
A bear.
Bats.
Yeah.
I rolled a 10.
Not bats.
Ooh, 10 from Fritz. Fritz is very situationally aware.
All right.
Fritz, I'm gonna need
Fritz.
you to talk Molotov onto this bear for continuity.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, the problem is that you also set everything else on fire.
Fritz, you can also ask any of those questions, or if you'd like, you can hold it on until you're further into the cave. There's something if you'd like to know now. You have up to 3 questions here.
Is there anything that's stupidly flammable in the cave?
Looking at it, it does seem like a rather moist cave as far as caves go, a regular amount. So no spider webs. There might be some moss. If the moss was drier, it might light up.
Yep, so just the animals.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Which I assume Marsh is holding the torch. Tack doesn't like holding the torch, it dries out my skin. So
Sure. Spritz, spritz.
Is there any substances on the ground like blood?
Hold on to that thought. Not here.
Not yet. Your blood is currently inside you, but it's about to be outside you.
Oh, and with lighting the torch, someone should mark a depletion for that. Just 1.
Oh, fine.
I mean, it was Fritz's stuff, right? Or no, it was Marsh. Probably. I don't know.
That's fine. I don't care.
Okay. You all find enough stuff anyway. It's fine. You got carrot cake. It's almost like you lit that on fire.
Oh no, we lit the because it's very oily carrot cake. We wrapped the little cloth
Oh my
that she
God.
had gave it to us around a stick and lit it up. It's perfect.
It smells
Yeah,
fantastic.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Cardamom.
So you all go further into the cave. This is a pretty sizable cave. Hector, you could probably guess that. You had to fly pretty far around the hill to even find the other smaller unused entrance. There are several paths, but you were able to keep following them. And then let's see. First, you hear the sound of a gentle sniffling, probably crying of some kind, further down the path that you were tracing the tracks.
A very sad bear. Maybe it heard my song.
Sure, you moved it to tears, Marsh.
It's quite possible.
So what do you do?
Well,
Sneak.
oh yes, you should. Oh, can you do that cool thing that you do where you like up on the wall and the
walls,
ceiling?
yeah.
Yeah.
Be on the ceiling and try to get a better look at what's going on.
All right, so go ahead and give me a sneak.
Okay, 6, 7, 8, 9 with finesse. I'll mark an exhaustion.
Okay. So you grab that book and be like, no, don't look at the options. It's no problem here. So with your sneak, you are unseen as you observe the situation for that noise is coming from, and indeed you see a young rabbit, looks like Soren, only younger, who you can only presume is Fog. She seems to have fallen down there is a drop off in the cave that it like suddenly sloped, and there's definitely like water dripping in this section, so it's made it much more slippery, and she seems to have fallen. She is holding her leg, and is looks sad, in pain. Generally the area she's fallen down into looks more impassable for people who can't fly or climb walls. And I think, give me a read a tense situation since you're up here.
Nope. Well, 4, 5.
5. Cool. Well, yeah, it's just her.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
So I will, from the ceiling, speak up and be like, Fog, don't worry, we're coming down to get you. Your mother sent us.
Eat when you say something, because like she definitely didn't notice you were there. It's like, who are my mom sent you? Who are you? Where are you?
I'm on the ceiling. We're helping your mother. Well, we're helping the town after the flood, and your mother mentioned you hadn't come back, so we checked your grandmother's place, and she told us you had gone off with your friend, and she expected you to be home. You weren't, so then we tracked you down here.
I fell down the. I didn't think I would fall, and I hurt my ankle, and sorry, I didn't think it'd go like this.
Okay, we all make mistakes. We'll come get you. Just wait here. Keep your voice down. We'll be right back.
And then she does so.
I'm gonna, back towards the group. So it seems she fell down into a sort of slippery slope into a little pit where she can't get out.
What was she doing in the cave?
I didn't ask. What's more important is we get her out, then we can grill her later once she's safe.
I don't know. It seems suspicious to me. Maybe it's a trap.
Just a kid.
Look, the carrot cake torch isn't going to last forever.
She seemed genuinely scared and miserable.
You know how sometimes animals will pretend to be wounded to lure in predators, and then all of the other little animals will come out and rip the predator's throats out.
Teenagers are very scary.
It's true. They confuse and
Hector,
frighten me.
I think we can probably use that banner and make a stretcher, and then maybe we can rig up a system to haul her out of the pit.
But our brand. Oh no, if we bring her back in town wrapped in the shroud of the historical society, that will lend a certain something to our prestige. I agree.
Right. So let's go ahead and do that, because again, I'm gonna get dark soon, and I'd rather not have to go through the forest back home with someone injured through the dark.
It does seem inconvenient. All right, well, so are we supposed to climb down and get her out? Well, wait, if we go down, then how will we get out?
I mean, I can scale it. Hector can.
I am a
Fly
wading
to an
bird
extent.
with long legs.
Yes.
I can just walk through the stream.
Sure.
Hector, as soon as we make this plan happen, you will have to give me an acrobatics roll if you're walking down the watery, smooth part.
I mean, you could just take a couple flaps.
I know it will. It's for my humorous purposes only.
Yes.
Okay.
And I need to know what happens. So Hector, you just want to roll that acrobatics. Do you have that trained?
I do not know.
Perfect. Just trust fate, please. Know that the stakes are very low here.
That would be a 9. Thank you.
Oh,
Okay.
Excellent.
All right. You do it.
Major pain.
Hector falls, breaks his wing. We have to kill him, and then but then my tragic song can be called "The Ballad of Hector." You can be remembered forever.
No, it's fine. You definitely do just you're like, I won't slip, and you don't, but it took more effort to not slip than you were hoping for.
It's like the video of the guy trying to shovel snow and he's like almost falling, but not quite for like a solid 10 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, even if you did fall, you just fly into the pit. But at any rate, sorry, I interrupted your plan to try to make someone do a pratfall.
So myself and Hector will go down there.
All right, and you're making a stretcher out of the banner, and
Yes.
then you'll
Yep.
fly out of there.
Yep.
Fritz, did you have one more question held?
Well, you didn't.
Sure.
Well, I guess if you burned the blood question, then yeah, it's just one more question.
You said hold on to the blood question, so that's not what that one's not burned.
So then 2 questions.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's one where it's, who or what is the biggest threat?
Oh, yes, Fritz. Yes. An excellent question as you stand at the edge of the cave, as you're listening to Tack and Hector fashion the fabric stretcher to get Fog out of there. You hear with your ears do that cat twitch thing, and you hear a deep sigh of a creature stirring in their sleep, giving out a deep bear-like breath. Not that far away, you think, from where this little dip in the cave is. You look around the tunnel. Does seem like a bear could fit in here. You think to yourselves, massive, horrible creatures. What do you do? You reason that it is still asleep right now. But like a restless sleep if people are making noises.
And Fritz unwrapped the sword and used the cloth to tie it around Marsh's mouth.
Yes.
It's just gonna make him louder because he's gonna be like, "What are you doing?" There's no explanation. Just takes the cloth off the sword, tries to like gag Marsh.
Yeah, Marsh, what do you do?
What are you doing, Fritz?
Fritz tries to do like
Sounds like his mother.
what is the word? The hand gestures
Mm-hmm.
to signal that there's like a bear over there sleeping.
And they smell horrible. You're right.
Up there, over there.
Yes.
And the shh.
Oh, yes. I should be very quiet. And thank you for the mask so I don't have to smell the bear. You're very thoughtful.
No, what?
But anyway, shh, bear.
Uh,
I don't know if a bear poops in the wood, but it clearly poops in this cave, so thank you.
Tack, Hector, did you guys tell them to be quieter?
Yes.
As far as I'm aware, I am not aware of the bear.
I mean, I've just been being quiet as a best practice because I
Yes.
even told the kid to keep her voice down.
Yeah.
We're
She's
signaling
trying to
and
keep her voice down.
doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you guys noticed the universal vagabond symbol for "Oh my God, a bear! Oh no!" So you guys need to get out of there real sneaky like, Tack. So go ahead and give me a sneak roll. Hector will be
Okay,
helping
that's
on
fair.
this, I think, if needed.
If you make it, I can get a 10.
Who makes it?
I make it. I have a 9, but if I get a help, I can make it a 10.
Oh yeah, I will help.
All right. Good. So you guys quietly, ever so quietly, climb out of the hole up to where everyone else is waiting. And now you all just need to quietly leave the cave so everybody can make a sneak roll.
Oh dear.
If you
Trusting
don't have
fate once
Roll the
again.
exact same 6 and 2.
yeah, if you don't have
That's better
sneak,
than
you can roll trust fate, which is a luck roll.
7.
Wait, one. I got an 8. Wait, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, I got a 10. Not that it'll matter because even one of us fails to sneak.
9.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I see a 2 over there, V. That or she's holding a B for V.
All right, it's a 3.
V for V. Whoop, whoop.
Because I have a +1. I rolled snake eyes for the 3rd time tonight.
Oh no.
Nice. What'd you get, Fritz?
A 10.
All right, cool. And V, were you trusting fate or sneaking?
I don't have sneak.
So you're trusting fate.
We do
Yes.
have one major boon.
Yet again.
It can't get worse.
I am gonna try to fix my snake eyes.
It's bad because it's not even, you could just re-roll.
Now it's a 12. 12 plus 1, 13.
There you go.
Nice.
There you go.
Just one harrowing second, V almost fell clattering to the ground in the loudest noise possible, but somehow she recovered from her fall with merely like a light scrape on the hand against the cave wall and just like, ooh, ooh, okay, and then everyone sneaks. And first it's a slow sneak, and then it's a faster sneak, and then it's like, we gotta go. This is a bear cave. We aren't coming back. And once you all feel that you are a reasonably safe distance away, the rest of the journey is fine. If you'd like to talk with Fog, you may.
I mean, she's a teenager. Nobody wants to talk to her.
It's true.
I mean, I beg to differ. You know, Fog, why the cave? Why did you decide to come in here?
Well, I just wanted to go on an adventure. You know, it seemed fun at the time. We were busy picking berries and stuff to bring back home because I'm tired of carrot cake and carrot soup and carrot smoothies. And there were some berries over there, and then the cave seemed cool to check out, I guess.
Well, your
My
mother's
friends
worried
didn't want
sick.
to go with me.
Your mother is worried sick.
Yeah, when isn't she?
And I know, right? She's so melodramatic.
Yeah. Moms are always worried about everything all the time. It's
I
so
know.
lame.
They're
No,
kind of
it's
the
fine. It's
worst.
not like there was this huge natural disaster that happened where she thought maybe her mother had gotten hurt and sent you to check, and then you didn't come back either.
Well, Grandma was fine.
Yeah, and
How would she know that, though?
she totally knew that because she's psychic. And of course she's like, whatever, my daughter's gonna go off and crawl in a cave with a bear. But whatever.
Was
Yeah,
a bear?
If she hadn't been worried, you would have just
Yeah.
been stuck in that cave with a broken ankle with a bear. It would have been
Probably
fine.
15 feet from you.
Yeah.
Oh no. I don't think I'm going in the cave ever again.
So anyways,
you could see the moment when she realized that her checking on if Grandma was fine did not tell her mom that Grandma was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a comedy of errors here.
Is the leg looking bad enough that we ought to take her to the hospital?
I don't think so. As compared to what you saw was there, I think it's one of those you shouldn't it's more like a sprained ankle situation. Because they'll just tell you guys have dealt with those before. You probably would be like, keep your foot up, don't walk on it, all that kind of thing.
Rub carrot cake on it.
Maybe not that one.
Well, we should get you back to. Well, we should go back by your grandmother's house, let her know that you're okay, and then we'll take you back to your mother's house. Also, would you like
You
to
do
sign up
so?
to be a charter member of the local historical society?
The what?
The local historical society.
That sounds kind of lame.
It sounds like
We're
we just
using
rescued you from a bear
this,
cave, so you should probably sign up for it.
Using
think?
its banner.
You're going to have to use persuade NPCs because teenagers are like that.
That's fine.
You might have just saved my life, but that sounds lame.
Yes.
And it's a 6. With my
The
+3
teenager
charm,
gives
it's a
you
6.
withering glare. Well, not glare, just sort of like a, my foot hurts. You just told me there was a bear. Why are you talking to me about historical societies? She says, wrapped in a cloth that says historical society.
Banner of the Historical Society.
It's fine. Youth these
Everything's
days.
fine.
Is someone carrying her?
Tack and I are.
Yeah, we've been carrying her on the stretcher. I mean, it's just a sprained ankle. We could probably like find her a big stick to use as a sort of crutch, or just have her on one of us. But it sucks to hop along on. Well, I guess she's a bunny, but
Right.
it does suck trying to hop on one leg for a while. She's been out there for a while. She's tired. She's hungry. She's
And filthy. She was in a bear latrine for hours.
Oh no. It probably was what that was.
Yes. We're going to need a new
Regrettable.
banner. Just saying.
All right, so grandma's house first.
Yep. You head there. The sun is probably setting by the time you get there. But the rest of the way into town would obviously be much more. It's not as populated near the start of your journey, but it's not that far and it's generally safe. But yes.
Does Grandma have a cart?
Yeah.
We could also leave her at her grandmother's. for
Oh,
the
I
night.
thought that, but wait. Grandma has a cart. There's probably like some old fence posts or whatever. Hector. What
If
if
you want
we...
me to make catapults,
Oh. No. Maybe later. But no, what I was thinking was, what if we like put some awesome like fins and stuff for like aerodynamics on this cart, and then we'd all pile on it and just go super fast into town. That seems safe.
How are we going to stop
if
it?
it's downhill,
Well, I mean, eventually you'll hit the wall of the water, won't you? I mean, it's not like it'll keep going forever.
I'm just going to walk.
All right. We can just drag her in the cart.
Or we can leave her at her grandmother's house for a couple days so that she can just recover here.
It might be better here than in town where everything's like destroyed.
Yeah, her mother can always come out here. It's probably better she stay here than us try to travel back to town with her as it's getting dark.
Always so
also-
practical, Tack.
Yeah, also, I kind of.
It's getting pretty tired carrying her.
Be mad at me.
Oh, she sure is.
So, Grandma won't get mad at me.
I mean, if you were in the historical society, we could just say you got distracted picking some berries on the way home
It's
and
true.
you hurt your ankle.
Your
We
mother's-
wouldn't even have to
You
mention the
persuade
cave.
an NPC.
Your mother's a member.
I'm
See,
sure.
here's her signature.
I'm not even kidding.
Oh my god.
Hold on, I might have like -2 chart. Hold on. Oh no, I have -1, so it's an 11.
Cool. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, if you think I won't get into trouble, I can sign in
Thank you.
right under her grandma's signature.
You
Yes.
take
So
care of
you're
her.
gonna tell
Liars.
us, I was
Check.
doing like a research thing or something,
Yes.
right?
Yes, exactly. Historical survey.
It was for your studies that they were worried about because you talked to your grandma about it.
Yes.
I did. Okay, yeah, I'll talk to her about it for sure.
All right.
So you drop her off. They hug. The grandma's very happy and was like, "Oh, where were you?" And she's all like, "Definitely not a bear cave." And they talk. The grandma somehow has already made more carrot cake to offer you.
We'll take it.
Congrats on one of you gets another.
It's an
Yeah.
avocado.
Removed.
Thanks.
Yeah, get it back to 0 since he's doing last game.
Yeah, I'll
Use the last one as a torch.
yeah, I'll take it. Someone will want this.
And you leave Fog there with her grandma, and you go back to town. I presume you stop at Soren's house.
Yes. And get her to sign
all like-
up on as a charter member of the Historical Society now that her daughter and grandmother are.
So she's all like, "Oh, so where was she exactly?"
She made it to her grandmother's, found her grandmother fine, was on her way back, and was picking berries on her way home, got a little bit off the beaten path as she was going, fell, twisted her ankle, and couldn't walk back home.
Oh no! So she's at her grandma's. Oh, thank goodness that you found her. I'm so happy. Here, let me get you something as thanks.
More carrot cake.
It's carrot cake, yeah.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad she's safe. I'll be sure to. I'll head out to her grandma's house when I get the chance over the next few days. Thank you so much for your help. Ovi, it's so good to have you around. I've really missed your company. I mean, just seeing you around town it's such a shame about Master Tempest.
Yes, it was very tragic when he passed, but he left such a great legacy behind. I have so many of his books detailing his biographies and, all of the things that he wrote about and all the things that he preserved. That's how I get Marsh to fall asleep at night.
It's
that's
not
so-
sleep, it's a boredom coma. But anyway,
Even better, because then you don't
sweet.
sleep.
whatever happened to that what's his name? Anyway.
Oh,
Hello?
yes. Master Tempest?
The guy that you're talking about.
Master Tibbs?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
he was just old.
Oh.
Yes, he was one of the town's elders, a member of the council that I've just made up. Yes, you should really pay respects. I think once all of the situation settled down, I'm sure it'd be nice to visit the gravesite.
Yes, of course. And I did want to check on the status of his previous home, and I'm working to preserve some of the works that he had beheld in the library and in the arts district. So, doing what I can to honor my master.
Oh well, good work.
Yes.
She
All in the name of the
grabs your
Historical
hand and
Society.
Oh yes. I'm so glad. It's always good to have a good sense of history and where your roots come from. She says, signing
Yes.
whatever this is without looking.
It's
all their family.
it's a permanent irrevocable trust.
Yeah. You have to donate to every year or face prosecution.
Look,
Yeah.
it's a party that the majority of whom are counterfeiters. Gathering random people's signatures is not a bad idea.
Yeah,
You're right.
that's
It
true.
is majority counterfeiters.
We're already liars and extortionists. Might as well add
Murderers.
fraud to the list.
Bombers.
Arsonists.
Freedom fighters. Yeah.
All the things.
Yeah, freedom fighters when it suits us.
Yes. Oh well. You're very welcome. Don't believe anything else you hear about us unless it's good.
We'll see you around, Soren. Good to see you again.
All right, just write a note quick.
Well, let's go back
All
to the
right.
captain and tell the captain what a wonderful job that we did.
Yes, you do so. Even at this late hour, the captain is still organizing efforts. You've seen over the last few days the efforts to clear the wall have continued to remove rubble and so on, and generally assess the situation there. Though there's still more work to be done. The captain turns as you approach and says, "Oh, back? How'd it go?"
We were able to locate Fog safe and sound. She is now resting at her grandmother's.
Oh, good. I'm glad you're able to handle that. You've been making good progress on that art stuff too?
Yes, very good progress.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear. Well, let me know when you're done with that. I should probably humor Longtooth at some point. As you can see, the wall effort's still going on, so it's going to be a few days, a week, she says, looking the wall up and down. Maybe before we're done with clearing that off, and I'm sure he could use some help with the kiln. So whenever you're done with the art stuff, take your time. You seem to have mellowed out a bit. So, you know, thanks for helping.
Yes, of course. Happy to help the good old hometown.
All right. That's it for now. You have a lot of tasks that they want you to do. You'll get your
Yes.
rewards for that later. So I think we're good for the session with you going tonight, going to bed at night. Everything's going pretty good. There are end of session moves somewhere that are important to know about.
Are there?
Yes.
I know we have to figure out
at the end of the session.
if we
Oh, it's advancements. Yeah.
yeah, if we satisfied any of our drives.
Yes. So we'll probably go around and do the thing where we say who we are again and all that stuff when you can see us next, and then do the end of session moves as well. So I'm Misha, or Misha _ less than 3 on Twitch, or Misha Weha on Twitter or Tumblr. Doubtfully. Don't go there yet. Let's see. We'll be here either next Tuesday or Saturday, depending on the schedule. We only will need one more session for this, so whichever one works out for our schedules best. So I think that's the 6th or 10th. I'm also going to be on the Backwinds channel on the 4th, I believe, for a follow-up of some masks shenanigans going on there. As long as it's still going on, cross fingers. But we'll reschedule that if it isn't. And I think that's it for me. Let's go over to Tough.
Hi, I am 98 Tough Love, or Tough or Torfleton, or some other variety of nickname. I'm also a variety streamer on Twitch. One day I'll stream again. Until then, I'm usually here. You will also find me with Misha over on the Backwinds channel on the 4th for more masks. I'm sure we won't die. It'll be fine. Everything's great. And I don't think I've advanced this time, unless you count extorting an old woman, mother, and their daughter into signing a piece of paper.
All right, here's the thing. You set up a scheme to steal art stuff while the rest of you decided not to look at that. You definitely did do that, and someone did steal some things.
Yeah, we've got clean paws. We've got clean paws.
Okay, cool. I got clean paws. Did not get discovery, though.
No. And you can only do one per set. Or is it one per drive per session, or is it one drive per session? Anyway, it doesn't matter.
I only got one, so it's whatever.
You can, for drives, you can advance as soon as they happen as well. But it's also, you check at the end of the session, like, did you forget? And oftentimes the answer is yeah.
Yes.
Let's see. We have 2 drives. I think you can do both drives if you happen to do both of them in a session.
Once per drive per session, but you can't do like one drive twice.
Yeah. It's very likely that we wouldn't do both. Like, they're usually varied enough things that you probably won't hit both of them in a session, but it could happen. With the way everyone's advancing, I'm not too sure if we should be hitting them quite as often, but I don't think that really matters. It'll be all right.
It's fine.
So you can then pick an advancement to do, of which there are many different types of advancements.
Yes.
Yes, I will do that. And remember to do that.
And I will also note when the session ends, one at a time, you may also choose one element of your playbook to update or change. You don't have to, but this is the time where you could, such as replacing a drive with a new drive from any playbook, or replacing nature with a new nature from any playbook, or replacing connection because you all have connections to each other as well, which was more set up in the first one. And I'm sure we all remembered that you got some sort of benefit from that, or one-time benefit, depending.
Yes. Definitely. Cool. I don't think I'm gonna change anything.
Yeah.
So we'll just leave that as is, and then I'll do my announcement. And I think that's me. Go Sin.
Hi, I'm Sin, or sinful __ potato on Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, all the social medias. Yeah. The next time you'll find me on the Twitch will be on Backwind channel, December 4th for the masks. It's at a stupidly late time because of me. Hi. Yeah. But then you can also catch me on my channel. December 5th is the Monday at, I think I said 4:30 Eastern, which is 3:30 Central PM for like a no mic stream. It should be fun and chill and quiet. It's fine. I'll play Stardew. I don't think Fritz advanced because they did not topple a tyrannical or dangerously overbearing figure or order. And I don't think they decrease their reputation with any faction.
Oh.
With GUD, maybe.
What would dealing with Sir Icington count?
I was thinking about Sir Icington. I don't know if he is quite as overbearing as that is saying, but maybe.
But we did lob explosives at a faction.
Yes.
Right.
We did.
They were pirates,
there were
obviously.
a lot of explosives. It was an awful lot of explosives. I was wondering if they had more information in general about the drives somewhere in here. I will think on that, Sin, and let you know shortly, but go ahead with Hector and Twi'lek.
I am Twi'lek. I have been playing Hector, a heron with gorgeous legs, and I am greedy and stole today, so I have advanced one drive. Thank you. SJ.
I am SJ or SJ_sidekick. I do not stream, but I'm often here. We're playing games with Juice on his stream. For my drives, I have Revenge, which my foe is Commander Warham, advanced when you cause significant harm to them or their interests, which, if we count the ship, we took out some of his forces, and yeah, okay, cool.
That,
and then
that was his interest.
Protection, I mean, we fought off the pirates, but I wasn't directly protecting Marsh. I was more just defending us and everybody. I more protected V than anything, but... So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm fine with just taking Revenge if that's...
Yeah, that's good. Fritz, you can go ahead. I think Sir Icington is a strong enough threat. He'll be back. Don't worry. So you can also advance.
He'll be back, but this time with an eye patch.
I almost
that'd be pretty funny.
I almost gave the captain an eye patch, and I'm like, didn't I give Warham like a scar over one eye? We can't have everybody with eye patches.
We can if Tack gives him everybody.
Yeah.
You can if your players don't ever remember that everybody has eye patches.
Right.
But
I remember last time I specifically pointed out his eye and made a comment because he's like, "You think I didn't recognize you?" And made a
Yeah.
comment about his vision being half as good or something.
Yeah, it was pretty good. All right. Marsh.
Oh, yeah, me. Zero daylight. Sometimes here. The next thing, other than the second concluding episode of this, we're working on finalizing scheduling for Silent Night, which is a Christmas episode. That'll be shortly after Christmas. It is based on Silent Hill, so it will be very uplifting and very child appropriate. And we will be doing more animals doing things that animals shouldn't do, with a Christmas caroling episode of Homo sapiens, and then other stuff too. Yes, clean paws from the stealing of historical artifacts. And that results in some extra roguish feats for Marsh. So he can be more sneaky and acrobatic, because he's learned that being sneaky and acrobatic is a good thing. So you don't get eaten by bears. Cool. Hey, well, thanks everyone for coming. Thanks guys for showing up to watch live on Twitch or recorded later on the YouTube. This will be up and available if you missed part of it and want to go back and check it out. Or if you want to go back to the very beginning and learn about the saga of the formation of Martian v Wedding Planners to provide extra context for this game. Feel free to do so on our YouTube, cpluscontent.tv. This will be up sometime tomorrow. But tonight we should probably go say hi to someone. Does anyone have a nomination? I was looking. We've got Blinky is up and Zam is up. Those seem like obvious suspects to me. But does anyone else have a different recommendation?
I'm good with that.
No.
Cool. Do we want to do Star Sand or Rimworld?
I don't even
I don't
know
know what Star Sand is, so-
I don't either.
Yeah.
So something we don't know what it
new.
is, or do we want to do Rimworld?
Something new.
Cool.
Do it.
Something new.
Cool. Well, I will at some point remember how to actually go out and raid someone. Thanks for dropping in the raid calls, y'all. Looks like it is working. Awesome. Well, thanks again. And we'll hang out here until the raid call fills. And we will see you again either Tuesday or Saturday. Bye, everybody.
Bye.